hear the ovation. The Rams will receive the opening kickoff. The flag bearer there is number 4. That's Michael Barnett, the tight end, defensive end, a terrific player. And there is Bakersfield Christian, and holding the Eagle flag, and you see the green V flag, and that's borrowed from Fresno State, something the Carr family knows well, the green V for the Valley. Fresno State saying they represent the Valley, and Bakersfield Christian apparently saying the same thing, and they've got plenty of talent over there as well. Looked like Stephen Figures was one of the flag bearers on the other side, and maybe Alex Wallace, number 2, was the other. If you're listening on the radio, Garces is in its traditional green-on-green uniforms with gold helmets, and the Garces Memorial the Garces Memorial logo on the helmet. Bakersfield Christian, white jerseys, white pants with blue trim, and their blue helmets. And we are now just minutes away, seconds away from the 2016 season. Liberty still leading up at Clovis West 7-0. Other games still getting going. I know Chavez South was running behind. Stockdale Ridgeview also about to begin. You can follow all the updates at BVarsity Live on Twitter. Trying to retweet as much as we can as well. And all the action here from Garces will be brought to you right here on the live stream. Bakersfield.com, and also on ESPN Bakersfield 1230. The Rams now waiting to take the field. Their starting quarterback again will be Connor Bruce, and one thing we should mention about Connor Bruce, he's a track star, Central Section champion in the 200-meter dash. So how fast is that for a quarterback? You don't see that very often, but number 7, Connor Bruce, is the guy to watch. Back deep to return here for Garces. Number 6, Chris Coleman, the transfer from West High, and number 22, that's Cam Roberson. So Garces with the return team on the field. Both Roberson and Coleman standing at about their 5-yard line. And for Bakersfield Christian, the starting kicker, David De Los Santos. He will kick off, teeing up the ball at his own 40-yard line.
David De Los Santos.
And here goes De Los Santos with the orange shoes, ready to get the BVarsity season underway here in 2016.
And number 22, Cameron Roberson.
Roberson and Coleman, the deep men. Bakersfield Christian in white and blue, kicking to Garces in green, white, and gold. And the 2016 football season is underway. De Los Santos' kick is a short one. It is going to bounce at about the 11, and Coleman will have to go get it. He picks it up, makes one man miss, and now he's running across the field free. He's across the 30, up across the 40, across midfield, and finally shoved out of bounds as he reaches the BCHS 40. Pushed out of bounds by Christian McGill. If McGill didn't get him, I think Coleman starts the season with a touchdown. As it is, he picked that ball up at the 11 and returned it all the way to the BCHS. Let's see where they mark this. It was pushed out of bounds inside the BCHS 40. It'll be right at the 40. So that is a 49-yard return for Chris Coleman. What a start for the Rams, and we see some of that speed right off the bat. And again, speaking of speed, here comes Connor Bruce. He is in the shotgun. Really a pistol formation. Isaiah Martin behind him, and the Rams go 4 wide with trips to the right. First snap is a handoff to Martin right up the middle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, tries to drive forward, doesn't get far. Good job by the Bakersfield Christian defensive line there. 75 hit him. That's Jonah Rogers. He was the first contact, and Martin got maybe half a yard. We'll call it 2nd down and 9 from the BCHS 39.
No gain on the play.
So 2nd and a long 9 for Garces. Same formation, trips to the right. But now a true shotgun as Martin steps up to the sidecar. It's a fake to Martin, and now Bruce will throw deep. He's got a wide open man. It's a touchdown for Garces. Cameron Roberson was wide open at the 10-yard line. BCHS defenders shaking their heads. And that was pitch and catch. Connor Bruce, 39 yards to Cam Roberson. What a start for Garces. Exactly 60 seconds into this one, we had the 49-yard kickoff return by Chris Coleman. And now Cam Roberson with a 39-yard touchdown catch from the quarterback, Connor Bruce. Here comes the kick from Brandon Villalobos. It's a line drive kick, and it is good. And so here on BVarsity Live, it is Garces 7, Bakersfield Christian 0. We'll be back after this.
Connor Bruce hooks up with Cameron Roberson, 40-yard touchdown strike. Garces 7, BCHS 0.
Oh, it doesn't do it when it's not live. Oh, you just left your commercial. You're live.
Welcome back to Garces. The Rams have their big crowd off to a roaring start here. A 39-yard touchdown pass from Connor Bruce to Cam Roberson on just the second play from scrimmage of the year for the Rams. That followed Chris Coleman's 49-yard kickoff return. And Garces already up 7-0 on BCHS, which also brought quite a few fans here. So now BCHS will get a turn. Boy, Cam Roberson wide open on that play. And just like that, Garces up 7-0. Stephen Figures Jr. is the lone deep man for BCHS, standing just inside his own 5-yard line. Villalobos, the kicker for Garces, tees it up, and boy, it feels like we were just here. It was just a minute ago in game time. But this time it'll be kicked the other way from right to left as Garces kicks on your radio dial. A.J. Gass Rams off to a big-time start on offense. A line drive kick. Figures took that in the end zone just over the goal line, and that is an automatic touchback. And so Figures does not get a chance to match Chris Coleman's 49-yard kickoff return. Figures and the BCHS offense will begin at their own 20. The quarterback for BCHS, that's number 15, Austin Gaines. And he will start at his 20. Told you in the pregame show, Michael Barnett starting at defensive end for Garces. He's one to watch. Also got to love their linebacking crew led by Jack Tobias. The first offensive snap of the BCHS season will come with 4 receivers wide. 2 to each side. Jeremiah Foster wide to the left of Austin Gaines. And that is Stephen Figures in the shotgun with Gaines. Gaines will throw out to the left flat, and it's complete, but tackled for a loss after catching the ball out there is Alex Wallace, number 2. So a complete pass, but not what the Eagles were looking for. They lost a couple of yards on that play.
Michael Barnett.
Great pursuit by the Rams, and it was led by the defensive end, Barnett, getting all the way over there. So 2nd down and 12 now, back at the 18 for BCHS. They're over on the left hash. You got a couple receivers squeezed over there and a couple here on the far side stacked to the right of Austin Gaines. He'll take the shot, the snap and shotgun. He's going deep this time, and he's looking for Foster, and it is nearly picked off by Coleman. Great coverage there. Excuse me, Cam Roberson. Jeremiah Foster, the intended target. Big, tall target out there, and Gaines lofted it up to him, but great defense by Cam Roberson. Caught the touchdown pass on one end and breaks up the deep ball on the other end. Just like that, BCHS finds itself in 3rd and long. 3rd and 12 for the Eagles at their own 18. A dream start for Garces here. Again, Figures behind Gaines in the shotgun and 2 receivers to each side for BCHS as they try to spread things out on Garces. Under pressure, and a screen pass set up, and it was very nearly intercepted by Garces. It falls incomplete. Gaines had to get rid of it because Brian Pantoja was bearing down on him. And Gaines just tried to get rid of that ball, and he nearly threw it into the arms of Michael Barnett. Luckily for BCHS, that was not a screen pass pick 6. Instead, they'll survive to punt here. But a great defensive series for the Garces defense. 4th down and 12 for BCHS after a pass complete behind the line of scrimmage and then 2 incompletions. Stephen Figures is the punter for BCHS, and Chris Coleman is back to return for Garces. And BCHS is going to call timeout here. So BCHS calls timeout, confusion in special teams. Don't want to have a bad snap in the end zone or anything like that, of course. Fans, the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of BVarsity Live. You can get pre-approved before purchasing your vehicle. Step one in auto buying isn't looking at which vehicle to purchase, it's finding out which vehicles you can purchase. Whether you're in the market for a new or used automobile, motorcycle, or recreational vehicle, Kern Schools offers low rates and flexible terms. Don't wait any longer. Cover step one and get your pre-approval today. The Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, voted the best financial institution in Kern County 22 years in a row. Visit www.ksfcu.org for more information. And our weekly sponsor here on BVarsity Live is Bakersfield Christian High School, so our thanks to them as well. Here's a score update for you from across town. It is Frontier 14, Cabrillo 0. So the Titans off to a rip-roaring start in their game. Cesar Chavez drives to the South High 9-yard line on the opening drive of the season, but they are stopped on 4th down. Ridgeview forced to punt by Stockdale. And Clovis West has tied Liberty 7-7. A bad snap. Figures is having to try to run for it here. He's made 2 defenders miss inside the 10, but he will be bottled up at the 11. Figures corralled the bad snap and didn't want to try to get the punt off. Tried to run for it, and it's a loss of 7 and a big-time mistake by BCHS. I don't believe that was a designed fake. What a time to do it if it was on 4th and 12 from your own 18. But either way, Figures tried to run with it and got absolutely nowhere.
First and goal, Garces
and
at the BCHS 10.
Garces, they're going to spot this ball actually right at the 10, so it will be first and goal for Garces, still with 9:57 to play in this first quarter. Here comes the Garces offense. What an unbelievable turn of events already. On special teams, the Rams already dominating this game. Chris Coleman is now in at quarterback. So Coleman fakes the handoff. It was a triple option, and he fumbled. And BCHS got it back. Speaking of turnarounds, how do you do? Chris Coleman faked the handoff. It was a triple option situation, and he was hammered. I believe Jeremiah Foster hit him. And then it's number 56, Jason Gauthier, who picks up the loose ball, and BCHS gets a reprieve for its special teams mistake, and they get a first down at their own 12. So Coleman kept the ball, lost yards, and fumbled.
BCHS starts at their own 12-yard line.
And he had the great special teams play earlier, of course, with his kickoff return, but there, a big mistake. Arvin leading Highlands 6-0. 2:35 remaining in the first quarter there. Here we've still got 9:52 to go. Gaines will throw over the middle, and Jeremiah Foster could not come up with it. He might have heard footsteps. And guess who it was? Cam Roberson again bearing down on him. Foster actually dropped the ball right before Roberson hit him, but it's very possible he saw, heard, or felt him coming. Foster could not come up with that. It would have been a nice gain if he had. BCHS now 1 of 4 passing the ball, and they have not attempted a run. 2nd down and 10, back at the 12. Actually, that's not true. They did attempt to run after Figures had the bad snap on the punt. Gaines, the lefty, airs it deep again looking for Foster, and again it is broken up. No flag on the play. Scott Boylan, the defender that time. There was lots of contact, but the referees rule it clean. And again, BCHS will find itself in 3rd and long. Gaines now 1 of 5 passing. And the 1 was just a little screen pass out to the flat.
3rd and 10.
So here we go, BCHS again in a tough spot, 3rd and 10. Garces with all 11 defenders within about 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's interesting on a 3rd and 10. It will be a run, so they had the right read. It's a shovel pass or a shovel behind to Figures. And Figures gets out to about the 15, but he won't get any more on the far side. It's a gain of 3, and that will be it. 4th down coming up for BCHS. And I've called his name about 5 times already, Cameron Roberson with the tackle there. So now Figures again back to punt. And an official timeout on the field here. Looks like a Garces injury. Try to get a number for you on that one. Believe that is 54. No, there is no 54 on the roster. Maybe that's 34. That'd be Chris Hollenbeck, starting linebacker. Well, they tend to him. We will tell you that it is already 7-0 Garces, 9:20 left in the first quarter. We've already had a bad snap on a punt that essentially turned into a turnover. That was followed immediately by a fumble. But before all of that, Garces strikes first, a 49-yard kickoff return from Chris Coleman, and a 39-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Connor Bruce to Cam Roberson. And Cam Roberson has proved himself to be a force on defense as well for the Rams. Ridgeview gets the ball back from Stockdale. They are scoreless, just 5 seconds to go in the first quarter there. Clovis West and Liberty still knotted 7-7 up in Clovis. That game in the second quarter. Another big game in the Central section. Central leading Bullard 3-0. And that was indeed number 34, Chris Hollenbeck, the injured Garces player. He is hobbling off with help here. I don't know if that was a turned ankle. That's kind of what it looked like from here. It was on the far side of the field. Stephen Figure standing back at his goal line, ready to punt. He takes the snap. This time it's clean. And a wobbly kicking away from Coleman. That's smart. It will bounce down, and Coleman will let it roll, and it'll take an Eagles roll down to the Garces 41-yard line. So Chris Coleman clapping his hands at the Eagles saying, you better kick it away from me. Well, they did, and they executed it well. That's a 44-yard kick for Figures with no return. And with 9:08 to play in the first quarter, Garces will take over for technically its third drive of the game. The first two were very short. One, a 2-play drive that ended in a touchdown. The next one, they fumbled on the first snap. So already their third drive of the season, not even 3 minutes into the season. Garces starting from the 40-yard line, actually, with 9:07 to go. Back in at quarterback is Bruce. He'll fake the handoff and keeps it around the left side in a big hole. A stiff arm still going into BCHS territory and finally steps out of bounds at the Eagles' 35-yard line. I didn't see who Bruce just shoved out of the way there. Stephen Figures was the one who finally got him to step out. He never really went down, just took a step out, but that's a gain of 25. No, they're going to say he stepped out earlier. That would have been a gain of 25. They say he stepped out back at the 43. So call it a 17-yard gain for Bruce. He faked the handoff to Martin and then went around left end and picks up 17 in the first down. So Garces in business again. They are in the BCHS side of the field for the third time already. One touchdown and one fumble to show for it. Handoff to Martin right up the middle. He rumbles down to the 40, a gain of 3. Greg Youngblood to Marcus Cornford was the first touchdown of the year for Frontier. They now lead Cabrillo of Lompoc 14-0. Here it's 7-0 Garces. And the Rams driving, 2nd and 7 at the BCHS 40, looking for more. Lots of action in this one already, not even 4 minutes into the game. Arvin now leading Highland 12-0. Bruce in the shotgun. He fakes a handoff. He's got an open man to the right side. It is complete for a first down, and that's Jason Roberson with the catch. Dives down forward to the 30. Caught that ball right at the sticks on the far side. Turned and dove down about 3 more yards. It's a gain of 10 on 2nd and 7 and another first down. Foster had the tackle there for BCHS. So Bruce now 2 of 2 passing for 49 yards. And remember, this is a guy who only completed 46% of his passes a year ago. So good sign already for Garces in the first quarter of the year. Handoff up the middle to Martin. A bit of a high snap there, and it was handled well by Bruce. And they get it to Martin and pick up about 4 yards. It's the little things that count sometimes, and Connor Bruce corralling a bad snap and getting off a clean handoff turned what could have been a 4-yard loss into a 4-yard gain. And a very manageable 2nd down and 6 for the Rams. This is the Mission Bowl, Bakersfield Christian versus Garces, here on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230. I'm Zach Ewing. This is the BVarsity game of the week. 2nd and 6 for Garces. They already have a 7-0 lead. 7:15 to play, first quarter. Fakes the handoff to Martin. Pass in the flat to Boylan, who makes a man miss. Absolutely ducked under Stephen Figures, and then darts down to the 20 and is going to get, if not a first down, very close to a first down out of what should have been a loss. Scott Boylan gets away from Stephen Figures. That was a running play. It was a backwards pass to Boylan. They're going to call it 3rd and short. So technically a 5-yard gain there for Boylan. And it will be third down, and very short from just outside the BCHS 20. They just need to move the ball about a foot here. But Bruce is in the shotgun anyway. He keeps the ball going around the end and runs away from the defender and easily has the first down. Same play this drive started with. Christian McGill was in pursuit for BCHS, but that's where you see that speed for Bruce. McGill had no chance, and Alex Wallace had to drag him down well upfield. Looks like they said Bruce stepped out at about the 13, but he picks up 7. He only needed about a foot.
Out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
So it'll be first down
1st and 10 from
at the 13 for Garces. 6:26 to play, first quarter. Clock stopped, 7-0 Garces looking for more. Trips to the right with Martin behind him for Connor Bruce. He will run the option. It's a pitch to Martin. Martin, a little shake and bake, makes a man miss. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, and the ball is loose. And BCHS got it again. Unbelievable. The second time in the red zone, Garces has turned it over. Martin with some really slick moves to get down inside the 5, but he could not hang on to the ball.
Nick Serber gets a hold of that loose ball for the Eagles.
Trying to see who picked up the loose ball for BCHS. I think it was number 11, Nick Serber. And that is who it was. He recovers the ball at the 4. So instead of being down, at least on the doorstep of being down 14-0, with 6:15 left in this first quarter, BCHS will take over. Now, problem for the Eagles, the ball will be spotted out at the 6, but they are still very much backed up, and they've struggled to move the ball. 2 running backs in the backfield, and Gaines will keep it here, and he's going to get BCHS a little breathing room. Darts his way out to the 10. A gain of 4.
About 3 on the play.
So it'll be second down. That's the most positive play yet for BCHS, and it's just a 4-yard gain. But they have been swarmed. Jack Tobias had the tackle for Garces. East leading Delano 7-6. Liberty and Clovis West still 7-7. That's deep into the second quarter up in Clovis. Gaines in the shotgun on a 2nd and 6. He will hand it off. Figures got out of one tackle in the backfield and makes it out to the 12, maybe the 13-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and maybe 4 for BCHS.
22, the ball carrier Brock Holloway.
I take that back. It was not Figures. It was 22, Brock Holloway, the other running back in the backfield there, who carried that ball for BCHS. 3rd and 4 from about the 12 for Bakersfield Christian. 5:04 and counting to play in the first quarter. Gaines in the shotgun, now Figures his lone back. And 4 receivers wide, 2 to each side on this 3rd and 4. They'll spread the field out. Gaines under pressure. They're going to go deep on 3rd and 4. And the pass is broken up again. And again, Cam Roberson back there. Gutsy play call on 3rd and 4 from David Carr, the BCHS offensive coordinator. Goes deep, trying to find Jeremiah Foster again. And that time Cam Roberson and Jeremiah Johnson also on coverage. And again, that deep ball falls incomplete and sets up a 4th down. Gaines just 1 of 6 now.
Stephen Figures to punt. Chris Coleman deep to receive.
Coleman back to receive the kick for Garces. Figures, again, the punter, standing on his own goal line about the 3rd time It is the third time he stood right at about his goal line to punt the ball already in the first 8 minutes of this game. There's 4:46 left in the first quarter. And BCHS is running a late sub onto the field. In fact, it's their long snapper. Sure seems like they've taken a lot of time. Just now the back judge is counting it out. They do get the snap off in time. And it's a beauty of a kick over Coleman's head. He'll go back and scoop it up at his own 32. Question is, did he outkick his coverage? He did not. A nice open field tackle made there for BCHS by Brock Holloway. Coleman did get about 10 yards on the return, but that was a very long kick.
Garces starts at their own 42-yard
That was a
line.
50-yard punt, a 10-yard
4:33
return,
the first quarter.
and Garces will begin at its own 42-yard line. Fans, if home buying is over your head, getting pre-approved for a home loan can help you understand the home buying process and your financial limits before you start looking for your dream home. Come into Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and get pre-approved today. Garces leading 7-0, but they've turned the ball over twice. And with 4:33 to go, they begin their fourth drive of the game. Their defense has been very good. In fact, Garces has been outplaying BCHS up and down the field outside of the two fumbles. Over the middle, it's complete and off to the races. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Garces. Isaiah Martin leaked out of the backfield, and nobody was going to catch him. He leaks out of the backfield. Bruce hit him with a strike, and Isaiah Martin outran everybody. Garces leads at 13-0. On for the extra point comes Brandon Villalobos.
Brandon Villalobos to attempt the point after.
The quick stripe capability of this offense on display. That is a 58-yard touchdown pass from Bruce to Martin. There's a whistle before the snap on the extra point.
58-yard hookup. Connor Bruce hooks up at 25. Justin Barnes for the score.
I've got to correct myself. Was not Isaiah Martin. It was 25, not 21. My apologies there. Justin Barnes showing off his speed. Boy, he was off like a rocket after catching that ball. The other man in the area there was Cam Robertson, and he sent a nice block for Barnett, or excuse me, for Barnes right after that hookup. And after that, Barnes was off to the races. Villalobos, after the 5-yard penalty, his PAT is still good. And we will take a quick break here on BVarsity Live. It's Garces 14, Bakersfield Christian nothing in the first quarter. Back at Garces, still 4:20 to play in the first quarter. Connor Bruce already 4 of 4 passing for 117 yards and a couple of touchdowns. That last one, a 58-yard strike to Justin Barnes. And again, my apologies on the misidentification there. It looked like a 21. It was a 25 streaking off into the night here at Sam Tobias Field. Either way, the points count the same for Garces, and the Rams lead the Eagles 14-0. Less than 8 minutes in to the first quarter and to the 2016 season, and it's already gut check time for BCHS. To kick the ball is Villalobos. Stephen Figures again back deep to return. And he stands at about his own 10-yard line. Villalobos kick. Again, looks like it's going to send everybody back into the end zone, and it does. It'll be a touchback.
Villalobos kicks it into the end zone for the touchback.
So BCHS, again, field position has been a problem for them. And they will start at their own 20. They've started twice at their own 20 and twice in even worse field position than that because of Garces' fumbles. Of course, they'll take the fumble, but the field position has been tough. Kennedy leading Foothill 8-0 that game midway through the first quarter. Taft leading Golden Valley 19-0 early second quarter. So we get you some BVarsity scoring updates. Gaines fakes the pass. Finally, he has completed a downfield pass, and it is to his popular target tonight, Jeremiah Foster, and it is for a first down. That's a gain of about 15. We'll see where they spot it. Yeah, it's right at the 35. A 15-yard gain from Gaines to Jeremiah Foster, and BCHS has its first down of the game. 4:04 to play here in the first quarter.
Remaining the first quarter.
That's not that bad, 8 minutes for a first down, but when the other team has driven inside the 10 4 times and scored twice already, it feels maybe more lopsided than it is. BCHS trying to get right back into it here. 4 receivers wide for Gaines. He's hit as he throws, but he nearly completed it anyway, in and out of the hands of his intended target down the far sideline. That was all the way up at the Garces 30. And it looked like the intended target there was Alex Wallace. Hit him right in the hands. Jack Tobias was right in on on Gaines as he threw that ball. Some more big news from Ridgeview. Jamar Moya has been ejected. He has been ejected from that game with Ridgeview. And that means he can't play next week against Liberty either. Gaines under pressure again. This time the screen set up well. Steven Figures has some room to run. Steps over one tackler, but then Garces swarms. And it looked like Michael Barnett might have been the first one to hit him at the 40. The screen pass picks up 5. Looks like Beck Dobransky also was there. Second down and 5 at the 40.
Gain of 4 on the play, 3rd and 6. Ball just shy of the Eagle 40-yard line.
So just shy of the 40. The Eagles trailing 14-0 late first quarter, 3:02 to play in this quarter. You mentioned Moya kicked out. Remember, DeGraffin, Reed, and Prevost already not starting for Ridgeview. So a very, very good defense, but definitely short-handed the rest of the night against Stockdale. Play action pass. Foster is the man, and he's going to be taken down right at the line of scrimmage. A great tackle made there.
Pass complete to Foster.
See if I can get an ID on the tackle.
Jack Tobias with a nice
Jack Tobias over there, and Foster is still down. No gain on the play. It looked like Foster had some running room. He tried to make a shake on Jack Tobias, and Tobias stayed home and made a nice tackle. 3 straight completions now for Austin Gaines, but the last 2 netting just 5 yards combined, and it's 3rd down and 5.
Support our cheer squad and buy your
over at East High, Joe Robinson, a pick 6 for the Blades defense. They lead Delano 14-6. Arvin leading Highland 12-6 now as the Scots are on the board for the first time. Got a timeout on the field here for an injury. There's another injured Eagle player. That's Foster over there, but he is back on his feet and onto the sideline. Clock running now at 2:20 to go in the first quarter. How about this score? Desert 14, Emmanuel 13. The Scorpions playing their first game as a member of the Central Section and leading one of the Central Section's elite teams.
Steven Figures to punt. Chris Coleman deep.
Liberty leading Clovis West now 14-7, by the way. Touchdown for the Patriots.
Penalty flag.
Johnny Balderas, a 49-yard touchdown pass from Bryson Falconer for the lead there for Liberty. Penalty flag now on the field, and this is going to turn a 4th and 5 into a 4th and 10 for BCHS. So 4th and 10 back at the 35. 1:58 to play in the quarter, and BCHS finally with a chance maybe to punt it deep against Garces, but the 5-yard penalty hurts them in that mission as well. Stephen Figures is the punter for BCHS. Austin Gaines 4 for 10 passing for just 18 yards for the Eagles. Here's the punt from Figures. It's a good snap. Under pressure a little bit. Another line drive
Figures
kick.
Gets it away.
It's rolling inside the 30, and Chris Coleman going to have to let it go. He's upset that he had to, but really no choice with a bunch of Eagles swarming on him. And a nice BCHS roll down to the 17. So Garces will take over there by far its worst field position of the day with 1:46 to play in the first quarter.
Ball spotted at the Garces 17-yard line. They'll start first and 10.
1:46 left in the first quarter. Garces with its 5th drive already tonight and leading 14-0. Lots of big plays already for the Rams. The 2 scoring plays, a 39-yard touchdown pass from Connor Bruce to Cam Roberson, and the other a 58-yard catch and run. That one by Justin Barnes after catching from Bruce.
Connor Bruce shotgun gives to Isaiah Martin.
Isaiah Martin takes the handoff on first and 10, and he is rumbling through the BCHS defense into the second level up to the 25-yard line.
Tackle made by Christian McGill.
Martin, I gave him credit for that last touchdown, and
on the play by Martin.
This time it was him. It wasn't Barnes. And a nice 8-yard pickup, 25 yards on the ground already for Isaiah Martin on 5 carries. So the one he'll remember is the fumble inside the 10 when he thought he was going to score, but he's got plenty of time to get that one back, and his team leading 14-0. Another rumbling run for Martin. Bounces off a linebacker for a first down up to the 34.
Up to the 33.
That one's a 9-yard run for Isaiah Martin. Remember, he was playing varsity football as a freshman. So in some ways, this is like the first time he's played against peers. It's kind of like playing on the JV for him for the first time in 3 years since he was an 8th grader. Also a state qualifying wrestler is Isaiah Martin. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. First down, Garces at the 34.
Connor Bruce out of
Bruce,
the shotgun.
plenty of time to throw. He's got a man, but it's intercepted. Underthrown and intercepted back at the 30-yard line. And it is Jordan Smith who stepped in at safety for BCHS. The 3rd turnover of the first quarter for Garces. How about that? Jordan Smith, a big play. It looked like
21,
LeBrevin Austin was wide open for Garces, but Bruce underthrew that ball. It's the first pass he's misfired on all night. It was intercepted and then returned for 14 yards by Jordan Smith. So the Eagles will take over at their own 43.
3-yard line, first and 10, Eagles.
And we have 32 seconds left in the first quarter at this point. A very eventful first quarter it has been. Here comes Austin Gaines, now a whistle, and a timeout for BCHS. That's already their 2nd timeout taken. So the Eagles will talk it over. I wonder if the offense wasn't ready to go here. We'll take a short break and be right back here on BVarsity Live.
.32 seconds remain in the first quarter. First and 10, BCHS at their own 43.
Five seconds.
We're back. 32 seconds to play, first quarter here on the BVarsity Game of the Week from Garces High School. The Rams lead Bakersfield Christian 14-0. Odd formation for BCHS. They've got 3 wide receivers plus 2 running backs in the backfield. Back to pass goes Gaines. It's first down. And a high throw on the sideline. Was it complete? It was caught, and it is a completion over there for a first down. A nice leaping grab by number 18.
Pass complete to 10.
Or number 10, Danny Jimenez.
First down, BCHS.
And that is a 12-yard gain over there and a first down.
Ball spotted at the Garces 45.
So for the first time tonight, BCHS is into Garces territory. Their offense seems to be finding its stride a little bit. First and 10 at the 45. Inside, well, we're at 25 seconds with the clock stopped here in the first quarter. 14-0 Garces leading BCHS, but the Eagles driving for the first time tonight into Garces territory. Gaines back to pass. The southpaw has time. There's a flag down. That pass, did it skip on the turf? It did. Incomplete, intended again for Jimenez.
Flag down,
but the back judge rules that it bounced. It's not going to matter either way. There's a holding call in the backfield. That's the flag back there, and BCHS will get backed up across the 50. That's our second penalty flag of the night. We had one on a extra point and another one on a punt. Our first penalty by an offense or a defense tonight. How's that? End of the first quarter, Independence 7, North 0.
Holding penalty takes the ball back to the BCHS 39-yard line.
And that is going to be an 11-yard loss because the hold happened 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 21. 18 seconds to play in the first quarter. Pretty long first quarter here from Garces. The Rams leading BCHS 14-0. Gaines back to pass, has some time, and completes to Foster on the near side. A nice spiral right over the arms of Carlos Rosales, the Garces defender, and into the arms of Jeremiah Foster in front of us. And that is a gain of about 12, 13 yards on second and 21.
On the play, second and 7.
Or rather on first and 21. So now it will be second down and about 8. And Foster went out of bounds. The clock does stop. 11 seconds to go there. That was a gain of 12. Make it 13, so call it second down and 8 at the Garces 43.
Gaines hands off.
A hole up the middle there for the ball carrier and up to the 35 and a first down.
J.J. Johnson with the big tackle.
Ball carrier was hit hard, but
the ball carrier.
Brock Holloway did get the first down to the 34, and that is going to be,
BCHS.
Once they move the chains and start the clock, that will be the final play of the first quarter. So BCHS is on the move here into Garces territory at the Rams 34, but Garces off to a big start despite 3 turnovers in that eventful first quarter. It is Garces 14, Bakersfield Christian nothing, and we will be right back after this with the BVarsity Live Game of the Week.
Brought to you by Mission Bank, our title sponsor for tonight's games. Let our experience work for you.
Welcome back to the BVarsity Game of the Week, live on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230. Start of the second quarter here. Garces 14, Bakersfield Christian 0. Score updates from around the valley. Highland now leading Arvin 13-12. Stockdale and Ridgeview still scoreless. Ridgeview with all kinds of problems going on against Stockdale. That pass nearly picked off by Austin Gaines as we begin the second quarter. Overthrown, and Chris Coleman got a hand on it for Garces but couldn't bring it in. Would have been an incredible catch had he been able to palm that ball. But instead it goes incomplete. Austin Gaines, by the way, after a 1-for-6 start, he had completed 5 in a row until that incompletion right there. He's now 6 for 13 in the game. 2nd and 10. BCHS driving at the Garces 34. Plenty of big plays to come in this game, you would think. Both teams have shown the propensity to push the ball down the field. Gaines will fake a handoff and keep it here. And none of the Garces defenders bought that fake. He faked to Holloway and to Figures, who then faked a pass. But it was Gaines with the ball the whole time, and he picks up maybe a yard there. In fact, I'm going to say it's not even a gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10 here. So 3rd and 10 for BCHS. They may very well be in 4th down territory here at the Garces 34. We'll see what they can pick up on this 3rd down play first. 28-0 Frontier over Cabrillo late in the first half, so the Titans rolling to start the year. Gaines back to pass 3rd and a short 10 here. Passes to Figures. He's immediately swarmed by 3 Garces Rams. Brian Pantoja was there. Jack Tobias was there. And Figures lost about 3 yards on the play. So that may change the equation as far as whether you go for it or not. A loss of 3. It's 4th down and 13. And indeed, the Eagles are now going to punt. So a promising drive really goes backwards after the turn of the quarter. Those short passes for Bakersfield Christian have not worked well at all. One screen pass nearly intercepted. A couple of others going for a loss. Figures is going to punt. Apparently, yes, he will. And this is his worst punt of the night by far. It's short. He's trying to kick it out of bounds, and he does, but he kicked it shorter than he wanted to. Let's see where they mark it. And the line of scrimmage was the 37, so he didn't have a lot of room.
Ball goes out at the 25.
Ball is marked out at the 25. Boy, for that 12 yards, you almost would rather go for it.
Garces starts at their own 25, 1st and 10.
Fans, you can get pre-approved before purchasing your vehicle. Step 1 in auto buying isn't looking at which vehicle to purchase. It's finding out which vehicles you can purchase. Whether you're in the market for a newer used automobile, motorcycle, or RV, Kern Schools offers low rates and flexible terms. Don't wait any longer. Cover Step 1 and get your pre-approval today. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, voted the best financial institution in Kern County 22 years in a row. Visit www.ksfcu.org for more information. Garces taking over from its own 25-yard line, already leading 14-0.
Out of the shotgun, hands off.
Bruce hands off to Martin, the bruising junior. Looked like he had nothing and still gets out for 3 or 4 yards there.
10 minutes left in the first half.
Jesus Ibarra, touchdown catch for Shafter, and the Generals lead Miramonte 7-0.
For the Eagles.
3-yard gain for Martin on 1st down here. Rams certainly spreading the wealth on offense tonight. A couple of big touchdown passes. Connor Bruce hitting Cam Roberson and Justin Barnes. Isaiah Martins had 7 carries. Bruce has kept the ball a little bit.
Bruce out of the shotgun.
This time Bruce will keep it, and he'll throw a short swing pass just out of the reach of Scott Boylan. Boylan had a head start there if that ball had been placed well, but that's a difficult throw to make on the run, and it's incomplete from Bruce. Bruce had completed his first 3 passes before the interception on Garces' last drive, and now that one, so he's 3 of 5. And it's 3rd and 7 for Garces. BCHS looking to force the Rams' first punt of the night. So 3rd down and 7. Bruce in the shotgun. He will throw. Pass is complete, but the receiver looks like number 20, LeBrevin Austin, was on his knees when he caught the ball. So he's down right there, and it's short of the sticks, about 2 yards. Call it a long yard, 4th down, and it's decision time for A.J. Gass and Garces. The throw was low, and Austin had to go to a knee to catch that ball, so he does not get the 1st down. 4th down and a yard, and Garces has the punt team on the field. Punter is Brandon Villalobos. He's also the kicker. Taft 27, Golden Valley 0 as we continue to update scores on the BVarsity scoreboard. And it's a delay of game call against Garces. I think that might be due to them not really knowing whether they were going to go for that 4th and 1 or not. The penalty will make it 4th and 6. Certainly, you would think takes away the possibility of any kind of a fake here. 4th and 6 now from inside their own 30. Halftime score, East 14, Delano 6. North has scored. They're now tied with Independence. That game is 7-7. Arvin has scored. They lead Highland 18-14. PAT's optional on that one. Here's Villalobos' punt. Under pressure, nearly blocked, but he gets away a good kick. It bounces at the 35 and will go out of bounds.
At about the
33-yard line. That's where BCHS will begin. So the first punt of the year for Villalobos was nearly blocked, but he got it off, and he got a pretty good one off. That's, about a 38-yard punt. 8:31 to play in the second quarter. And BCHS trailing Garces 14-0, about to take over. Their last drive, by far their best drive of the game for the Eagles. They drove as far as the Garces 34-yard line before they stalled. Ended up punting the ball back at the 37. Halftime score up from Clovis. Liberty leading Clovis West 14-7. So the defending D1 champions looking for a marquee win early on. So far, so good. They lead Clovis West by a touchdown at the half. Looked like some movement on the BCHS line. No call. And Gaines with time completes to number 10, Danny Jimenez. Gain of about 8 up to the 43.
Out at the 43-yard line, hit by Chris
So
Coleman.
Gaines, who started out so cold, 105, is now back up to 50% for the game. In fact, he's over 50%, 8 of 15 now. And that one to Jimenez for 8 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2. .48 yards through the air for Mr. Gaines. 20 of them to Jimenez. Some big plays by Garces in the first quarter has the Rams out to a 14-0 lead. They've also turned the ball over 3 times. Otherwise, it could be worse. Gaines back to pass on 2nd and 3. No such thing as a short offense for these Eagles. A short pass to Steven Figures. He spins and gets away from a defender and has the first down, goes out of bounds, and then a flag flies up. That could be a late hit. The flag flew up well after Figures went out of bounds. That looked like another short pass that Garces had sniffed out, but Figures spun out of a couple of defenders' grasps, and it is a penalty against Garces that's going to be tacked onto the end. Beautiful move by Figures.
Over the far side.
He gets about 9 on the play, does Figures, and then it'll be a personal foul against Garces, 15 yards on top of that.
15-yard penalty against the Rams. Takes the ball down to the Garces 33-yard line.
So easily the most successful short pass for Bakersfield Christian tonight. And with the penalty, it is going to move the ball all the way up to the 33-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the 33 for BCHS, their deepest penetration of the night. Gaines will pass again, going deep, looking toward the end zone, and it's incomplete. The pass went out of bounds, so there will be no interference there. The intended target there, I believe that's Alex Wallace, went tumbling over one of the advertisements right at the goal line. He's okay. That pass led him out of bounds, and it'll be 2nd and 10. 17 passes already attempted by the southpaw Austin Gaines. 9 of them complete. He's got 49 yards through the air. Make that 57 yards through the air, excuse me. Ridgeview has finally scored. They take a 6-0 lead on Stockdale. A running play here. Figures has it. Bounces down close to the 30, but only 2 or 3 yards there.
3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd and long. Give Figures just a gain of 2 on that run. He kind of ran parallel to the line of scrimmage for a yard or 2 before trying to dart upfield. Garces' defense too quick for that. Only the 2nd rushing attempt for Figures. He's caught 3 passes out of the backfield. 3rd down and 8 at the 31.
1-yard line.
And again, Gaines in the shotgun. Passing downs, rushing downs, doesn't matter. BCHS is going to spread it out. Fake the handoff. Gaines is under pressure. Or excuse me, this is the quarterback, a new quarterback. And it is Braden Wingle. And Wingle was under immediate pressure, escaped the rush, but had to throw it away. A new quarterback there for BCHS in Braden Wingle, Braden Wingle. And he had to throw it away. It will be 4th down. So now decision time for BCHS. You would think this is 4-down territory here at the 31. Taft leading Golden Valley 27-0. Frontier up on Cabrillo 28-0. Those also in the second quarter. Ridgeview now leads Stockdale. And I beg your pardon, Stockdale had scored first, but Ridgeview gets the 2-point conversion, and the Wolfpack now leads Stockdale 8-7. So a battle on their hands there. Wingo will pass over the middle. What a grab by Jeremiah Foster. Held on with one hand as he was drilled by Cam Roberson.
7, Jeremiah Foster.
I do not know how Foster held on to that ball as he was just drilled across the midsection by Roberson. But it's a 16-yard gain on 4th and 8. And Jeremiah Foster earned those 16 yards. It's 1st down BCHS. They're in the red zone for the first time. And BCHS with its backup quarterback in there, well, boy, he can throw the ball too. Not sure what happened to Gaines or if this change was premeditated. Wingle will shovel it up with his right hand
Pitches
to Figures, and Figures is hit hard. He does get about 5 on the play, and the defender who hit him is shaken up.
Figures tackled by
That's Jeremiah Johnson, number 11, and he is shaken up. Hard contact there, and Johnson, who tried to go low on the tackle, is the one who may be needing assistance.
5:52 remaining in the first half.
Trainer out to look at him. 5:52 remaining first half. Well, fans, is home buying over your head? Getting pre-approved for a home loan helps you understand the home buying process and your financial limits before you start looking for your dream home. Come into Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and get pre-approved today. This one brought to you by the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and by Bakersfield Christian High School. The BVarsity Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1230 and Bakersfield.com. Little injury delayed. Jeremiah Johnson walking off under his own power now. You just wonder if he's going to go through what they're calling the concussion protocol now. He did hit Stephen Figures, the ball carrier, but sometimes even when you're the one who delivers the hit, you can get quite a ding there, and that looks like that's what happened to him. Second quarter scores: Highland 21, Arvin 18, Kennedy 15, Foothill 7. That's Foothill scoring. They were down 15-0. Here it's 14-0 Garces over BCHS. It was a gain of 4 on that shovel pass to Figures that caused the injury to Johnson.
For BCHS at the
and it'll be 2nd down and 6. Wingle in the shotgun. He dropped the ball and had to fall on it. He reared back to throw a pass, and the ball just came out of his hand. And he avoids disaster by falling on the ball, but that's a big loss for Garces. Or for BCHS, excuse me, all the way back to the 20-yard line, a loss of 9. So that's going to make a 2nd and 6, a 3rd and 15 back at the 20. That's a tough penalty there. 4:48 and counting to play in the first half. Garces leads Bakersfield Christian 14-0. And Wingle in the shotgun.
Wingle out of the shotgun.
Blindside blitz coming. He gets away in time, and it's caught by Jeremiah Foster in the front corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Bakersfield Christian. Threw it up for grabs, and Jeremiah Foster high-pointed the ball with the best of them. Touchdown BCHS. There is a flag on the field inside the 5. So hold the phone. We'll see what the flag's about. Foster and the Eagles celebrate, but now they stop.
7, Jeremiah Foster making the catch in the end zone. Flag down. We'll see what it's all about.
Referee talking to the side judge there. Let's see what the call is. It is pass interference against the defense. That was the question, is whether it would be offense or defense. They call it on Garces. Foster makes the catch anyway. He fell across the pylon and has the Eagles' first touchdown of the 2016 school year. 4:28 to play in the second quarter, and BCHS an extra point away from cutting the Garces lead in half. And that was on 3rd and 15. Throw the ball up to the big man, Jeremiah Foster. And despite the interference, he makes the catch. On for the extra point now. And it's blocked. It's blocked, and that's a dead ball. So the score will remain Garces 14-6. Chris Coleman got through the line and blocked that, and the score remains 14-6 Garces here on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230.
.428 remaining in the first half. Sports fans, Garces 14.
We're back here at Garces. The BVarsity Live game of the week. Bakersfield Christian is on the board. A 20-yard touchdown pass from Braden Wingle to Jeremiah Foster, who already has 5 catches for 64 yards. The extra point by David De Los Santos was blocked by Chris Coleman of Garces, and the Rams retained a 14-6 lead here. 4:28 to play, second quarter. And De Los Santos will kick it off. Remember, to start the game, we had apparently a 15-yard penalty against Garces. You know what it is? It's going to be, was it the pass interference call? Can that be applied on the kickoff now? If that's true, that's a rule change that I'm unaware of. Or maybe there was a personal foul on the extra point, but whatever it is, Bakersfield Christian being allowed to kick off here from the Garces 45. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the ball out of the hands of Garces return men, most likely, Roberson and Coleman. Because De Los Santos, with 15 extra yards, you would think can kick this ball into the end zone or further. .428 to play in the second quarter, And the left-footed kicker, it's a short kick, and it is going to be returned at the 5. That's Roberson this time. And Roberson's in trouble, and he is lucky to get across the 10 out to about the 12 as he dives forward. So the other thing is, with the line drive kick, with the 15 extra yards, BCHS defenders right on top of Roberson. So Roberson only able to get out to the 12. And that is where Garces will begin, pinned back at its own 12-yard line. 4:21 to play in the first half. So Elisha Ortiz had the 62-yard touchdown run for Stockdale on a 3rd and 33 in the second quarter, but Ridgeview answers, gets a 2-point conversion, and the Wolfpack leads 8-7.
Bruce fakes a handoff to Martin.
So Bruce will keep the ball here for Garces, and looking for some breathing room, he got that and more. All the way up to about the 20-yard line. Nice gain of about 7 yards there on first down for Garces. Time not yet a factor, but inside of 4 minutes to go in the first half, it certainly could become a factor. Only 3 carries for Connor Bruce, but he's gotten 32 yards on them, so the quarterback keeper has been effective for the Rams. Now 2nd and 3 from their 20. This time he hands to Martin, a big hole. He gets into the second level of the defense, and a first down for Garces. Martin up close to the 30. And he picked up
on the tackle.
9-10 yards there, did Isaiah Martin, and it'll be first down Garces.
Garces at their own 29-yard line. 3:35 remaining in the first
47 yards now on 8 carries for Isaiah Martin. And first down Garces, we'll call it at the 30. 3:26 to go as time begins to become a factor here. We'll remind you that Garces does have all 3 timeouts. Shotgun for Bruce.
Shotgun,
flips it out to number 22, Cameron Roberson. He turns the corner, and look at him go. Cameron Roberson inside the 20. He'll go all the way. There is a flag on the field. And I think it's going to be against Garces. Connor Bruce didn't even move. He saw the flag. In fact, there were 2 flags down. One about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. One about 15 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. The first one is a hold against Garces. The second one may be as well. But boy, did we get to see the speed of Cam Roberson. Straight up running past defenders there as he turned the corner on what would have been a 70-yard catch and run. But it's going to be wiped away by the holding penalty. So instead of 2nd and 10, or it will be 2nd and 10 instead of a 70-yard touchdown for Garces. The Rams do lead BCHS 14-6, latter stages of the first half here. The BVarsity game of the week. Zach Ewing, overjoyed to be with you on another high school football season. So back it up 10 yards on Garces, a big penalty there, taking away the 70-yard touchdown, and instead making it first down and 20, back at the 20. Check out the Bullard Knights leading Central 21-3 at halftime. So 1st and 20 for the Rams. Now time definitely a factor with 3:05 to go, and they've got a long way to go. A draw play, though, to Martin, and it works well. BCHS defense was caught by surprise there, and he picked up an easy 8 yards before being dragged down. So Martin churning up yards. Like we'll call that 9 yards.
On the stop for BCHS.
56 yards in this first half for Isaiah Martin already. 2:38 to play. 2nd down and 11 for Garces. Trips to the right for the Rams. It's a fake play action, and Bruce will keep, and here comes Bruce with the speed. He's got a first down as he cuts upfield quickly. And by the time a BCHS defender had his hand on him, he was 10 yards upfield. He picks up 16. Figures finally dragged him down.
1st and 10, Garces at their own 45.
48 yards on the ground for Connor Bruce. And again, the Rams in business. The holding call cannot stop them. They are 1st and 10 at their own 45. 2:08 and counting now. Rams do have all 3 timeouts, remember. BCHS has only 1 if you're wondering if they should get the ball back. Bruce in the shotgun. Pass out to the flat to Boylan. He was hit, but he gets away. And now Boylan is up the sideline. He stepped out of bounds. Picks up 15, could have had a lot more. But I will tell you, Boylan was drilled right as he caught the ball. And he keeps the ball and keeps his feet and picks up 15 yards, make it 18 yards. They mark him out up at the 37. Unbelievable play by Scott Boylan. And so now in business at the BCHS 37 goes Garces, already leading 14-6. Rams go no huddle. Connor Bruce having a tremendous first half. He hands off to Martin, and Martin rumbles through the middle. Boy, the holes are starting to get big in that BCHS defense. Martin rumbles forward. He gets 11 yards.
First down, Garces.
And another first down for the Rams up at the BCHS 26-yard line. 141 yards through the air and 48 on the ground for Connor Bruce. Isaiah Martin with 67 rushing yards. A minute 35 left, and Garces is going to call its first time out here to stop the clock. Still plenty of time at the BCHS 26, especially with how much yardage they've been ripping off on every play.
Our title sponsor for tonight's game, and also for
Shafter leading Miramonte 7-0.
is Mission
halftime, and
Your
BVarsity
good
number
hands
1
with Mission
Ridgeview
Bank and
struggling
Michael
with Stockdale. The Wolfpack ahead, but only by a point, 8-7. Maybe not surprising. Damone DeGraff and Reed and Jalen Prevost didn't start for Ridgeview, and Jamar Moya has been ejected from that game. The Wolfpack still with the lead on Division I Stockdale, but just by a point. Wasco leading Coalinga 7-6 up in North Kern County. And just about to start the second half up in Clovis with Liberty leading Clovis West 14-7. First down, Garces at the BCHS 26-yard line here. They now have 2 timeouts left and 95 seconds in this first half. Bruce in the shotgun. It's a high snap over his head. He's got to go get it. He gets away and now is going to run back toward the line of scrimmage. Takes a hard hit. An amazing play by Bruce just to get back close to the line of scrimmage. He took a risk in trying to pick that ball up off the bounce and does it. He got back to about the 28, so it's a loss of 2. But where he picked that ball up, that was a loss of about 15. And he made certainly lemonade out of lemons there. But regardless, the clock is running under a minute now, and it's second down and 12. 53 seconds now as Bruce takes the snap. A fake handoff to Martin. Bruce with time. Now he's under pressure. Escapes the pocket. Breaks a tackle and then coughs up the ball. Are they going to say he was down? No. BCHS ball. The ball popped out. And that is the 4th turnover of the first half for Garces with 42 seconds to go. Bruce again showing the escapability. He was down. It would have been about a 3rd and 4 for Garces where he went down. But instead, Nick Serber recovers the fumble for BCHS. And with 42 seconds left, the Eagles have it back at their own 16-yard line. BCHS only 1 timeout left, though, so we'll see what they choose to do here. 3 fumbles and an interception in this first half for Garces. That's really been the only negative. But because of it, they only have a 14-6 lead in a game, frankly, Garces has dominated. Well, this is number 12 again, Braden Wingle. And he does complete the pass to Alex Wallace. He turns and has some room to run. Gets out of bounds up past the 35 at about the 37. There's a gain of 20, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 31 seconds remaining.
Out of bounds at the 38-yard line, 37-yard line.
First down and 10 at the 37.
BCHS, 31 seconds.
Wingle has looked very good since he came into the game for Austin Gaines. And it is first down at the 37, 31 seconds to go. 1 timeout for BCHS. Waiting in the shotgun is Wingle.
Wingle out of the shotgun.
He pump fakes. He throws over the middle, and it is complete to Foster, who absorbed another big hit and held on, and he's down. He's standing, or kneeling, I should say, at the Garces 45. Clock stopped for the moment at 25 seconds, and we're going to need an injury timeout for Foster.
Cam Roberson with the big hit for Garces.
Taking hits from Cam Roberson does not seem like fun, and that's twice Foster's hung onto the ball despite the big hit, but this time he stays down. Gain there of 18. And we are going to pause 10 seconds for station ID here on the BVarsity Game of the Week. Jeremiah Foster still down for Bakersfield Christian. Somehow hung on to the ball. Cam Roberson hit him right in the back. Kind of a kidney shot, and he immediately hunched over. Foster did hang on. If I understand the rule correctly, This will be a forced timeout for BCHS because of the injury inside of 2 minutes. Obviously, all concerned about Jeremiah Foster right now, who remains down on his back. And now he is going to get up. He was not immediately prone on his back. Has his helmet off and is walking to the sideline under his own power. Hopefully just a situation where he got the wind knocked out of him by the big hit from Roberson. Now the question is, did that count as a timeout for Bakersfield Christian? Foster having a big first half, by the way, 6 catches for 82 yards for the Eagles. Garces really no answer for him, even early. BCHS was getting the ball toward him, and he was not making some catches, but North High scores a touchdown. They lead Independence 14-7. Now Wingle will be back to pass. He's looking deep. He's looking deep, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for his receiver over there on the far sideline, and there is a flag down on the play. There are 5 seconds left in the half. The clock was running there. They did not charge the Eagles with a timeout, but the clock runs all the way down to 5 seconds. And it will be against Garces, pass interference. The boos raining down on Sam Tobias Field from the home sideline. But that 15 yards, the clock stopped at 5 seconds. And now they could kick a field goal here, could the Eagles, although their extra point attempt was blocked earlier, so you don't know what kind of kicker they've got. Of course, they lost the great Nathan DeHager, all-area kicker from a year ago, who's now kicking at Fresno State.
Remaining in the half.
And I think BCHS has the offense back out there. The 15-yard penalty will spot the ball at the 30, so this would be a long field goal anyway. The pass interference penalty is going to allow this to be a manageable Hail Mary, if you will, for BCHS. Remember, they got the extra point blocked. I don't think they're going to try a 47-yard field goal, and they're not. BCHS does have a timeout remaining. And Wingle trying to set the offense here. He's in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Steps up in the pocket and will throw over the middle, and that's intercepted at the 5-yard line. And now coming the other way is Cam Roberson. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands, and he will be forced out, but a penalty. He's forced out at the 30. A penalty would move the ball up to the Garces 45 and allow the Rams one last chance, if that is the call. Don't know if that was a late hit. Could have been a blocking penalty against Garces as well. Flag spotted right at about the 30-yard line. Now a second flag down.
2 flags down on the play.
This could get really interesting if there are 2 15-yard penalties. The Garces team, I mean, this happened on the Garces sideline, and their players are walking to the locker room. So they don't think that they're going to keep playing. BCHS players have not gone anywhere. They're standing with Coach Darren Carr right at about their 45-yard line over there. See what the call is from the officials. There's a flag at the 30, another one on the sideline up at about the 37. Now Darren Carr asking for an explanation, and Garces coaches are calling the players back. So this half will apparently continue.
Garces, come on back on the field, Garces.
Now they've announced for the Garces players to come back onto the field. This half is not over.
Illegal block against Garces is declined.
So now they're signaling a penalty against Garces, and now Bakersfield Christian is going off into the locker room. Mass confusion, but it is halftime here at Garces. The PA announcer just admitted that he was confused. I'm confused. We're all confused. Garces players had it right. They went off to the locker room, then suddenly were called back on, only to be told that, yes, indeed, it was a penalty against the Rams, and it is the end of the half. So an interception on the last play of the half by Braden Wingle. Garces returns it out to the 35, and that is the half. Your score here on the BVarsity Game of the Week, Garces 14, Bakersfield Christian 6. Lots of big plays, lots of turnovers, and up and down first half for both sides. And we are going to take a break on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230, and we'll be right back after these messages.
back in about 15. And then we have 2 3-minute internals. So,
Okay, so this is just a 30? Okay.
Yeah, this was a 60 second.
Okay.
And then just come back. We'll just take, 2 minutes if we can chat. 5 seconds. Stand by.
Back at Garces Sam Tobias Field for the BVarsity game of the week. It is halftime here. Garces leading BCHS 14-6. And really an eventful first half. We're going to take you through it real quick, and then we'll come back after the break and have some stats and scoreboard for you here on the BVarsity Halftime Show, brought to you this week by Bakersfield Christian High School. Garces took the ball first in this 2015-16 season, and they did not waste any time, with Chris Coleman taking the opening kickoff back 49 yards. 2 plays later, it was Connor Bruce to Cam Roberson, who was wide open for a 39-yard touchdown pitch and catch. That put Garces up 7-0. BCHS went 3 and out. In fact, they went 3 and out, and then a bad snap on the punt, and Garces took over at the BCHS 10-yard line. But Coleman, in at quarterback, fumbled on the next play. That was the first of 4 first-half turnovers for Garces, and BCHS got it back. They went 3 and out again. Garces drives once again inside the red zone, but this time inside the 5. Isaiah Martin lost a fumble. So BCHS lived down just 7-0 one more time. Eagles go 3 and out for the 3rd straight time. And on the very first play of Garces' next drive, 58 yards from Connor Bruce to Justin Barnes. It was about 15 yards through the air, and then Barnes did the rest on his feet. And the Villalobos extra point made it 14-0 Rams. But BCHS, again going 3 and out, had to punt. But then they get an interception, and they start to drive. And finally, the BCHS offense gaining some traction. You get into the second quarter, they force a punt. And with Braden Wingle at quarterback, went on a nice long drive, did the Eagles a 65-yard touchdown drive that ended with a 20-yard touchdown pass from Wingle to Jeremiah Foster. And the PAT there was blocked by Coleman. So it was 14-6. Garces drove inside the BCHS 30 and yet again turned it over. Their 3rd lost fumble of the night, 4th turnover. BCHS one final chance. They ended the half with an interception. So there we are at halftime. Garces 14, BCHS 6. We'll be right back with some first half stats after this break here on the BVarsity Game of the Week. That clock will expire, and then they'll reset it for 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
They have like a warm-up period,
okay.
And then it'll be the second half. So that we have actually 13 and a half minutes.
Okay. So you have 2.5 left.
Of 14 for 40. Two for 2 for 17. So 96. No. Six of 9 for 96. Welcome back to Garces, BVarsity Game of the Week, brought to you by Bakersfield Christian High School and the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. We are at halftime with Garces leading Bakersfield Christian 14-6. Some quick first half stats for you on the BCHS side. They've used two quarterbacks. Austin Gaines, he played in the first quarter and the first couple of snaps of the second quarter. 7 of 14 for just 40 yards for Gaines. Braden Wingle came in. He made things happen. 6 of 9 for 96 yards. A touchdown pass to Jeremiah Foster. He also threw an interception on the last play of the first half, kind of a desperation situation. Rushing the ball, BCHS has not done much of all. Brock Holloway, a couple rushes for 11 yards, leads the way. But counting a couple of bad snap situations, you're looking at 0 total rushing yards for BCHS. So they have 136 total yards. And it is Jeremiah Foster leading the way receiving. He was shaken up at the end of the half, but he has 6 catches for 82 yards for the Eagles. On the Garces sideline, boy, the stats sure look good. Connor Bruce has only thrown 6 passes. He's 4 of 6 for 141 yards. Do the math on that one. That is over 30 yards per pass attempt, or per pass completion, I should say, and it's nearly 25 yards per attempt. That includes a 58-yard touchdown pass to Justin Barnes and a 39-yard touchdown pass to Cam Roberson. The Rams have been equally impressive on the ground, with Isaiah Martin rushing 10 times for 67 yards and Connor Bruce, the quarterback, rushing 5 times for 54 yards. 251 yards of offense for Garces. That's on pace, obviously, for more than 500 for the game. But every single one of those players I mentioned has at least one turnover. Bruce has thrown an interception. He also lost a fumble. Isaiah Martin lost a fumble, and Chris Coleman also lost a fumble. They had 4 first-half turnovers, all of them in the BCHS half of the field, and so that is why Garces, despite a 251-yard night of offense in just the first half, the Rams only lead the Eagles by a score of 14-6 here at the half. That is the story from Garces. We are about 8 minutes away from the second half. Let's get you a couple of quick scoring updates. North leading Independence at the halftime, 14-7. Highland, which was down 12-0 early, all over Arvin, 34-18. Ridgeview led Stockdale 8-7 at the half, and remember in that one, Damone DeGraffenried and Jalen Prevost, our Trevor Horn breaking before the game, that they did not play due to disciplinary reasons, missing class. And it is now 8-7 Ridgeview into the third quarter. Jamar Moya has been ejected from that game for reportedly throwing a punch as he was hit. He thought there should have been a whistle. Stockdale players continued to hit him, and a referee saying he threw a punch in that scrum, ejected from the game. That means he will miss next week's game pending an appeal, a big one against Liberty. So Ridgeview hanging on to an 8-7 lead there with, boy, just very short-handed Ridgeview trying to beat a Division I team in Stockdale. And the big one up north, Liberty and Clovis West. It was 14-7 Liberty at halftime. The teams have traded touchdowns to open the second half. Clovis West went right down to tie the score at 14. Then a 57-yard touchdown pass from Bryson Falconer to Rhett Garrett that put Liberty back on top. But now, just now, the Golden Eagles have scored on Adrian Martinez's 10-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 9. That's Clovis West quarterback. And that game tied a good one up there late in the third quarter, 21-21 between Liberty and Clovis West. Here at Sam Tobias Field, the score is Garces 14, Bakersfield Christian 6. We are at halftime. We're going to take one more break. We'll be back with you for the end of the half and then the beginning of the second half right after this on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield, 1230 a.m.
Cracks me up because every break we have has like 2 Kern schools.
Oh, yeah.
Ads, and Fessler already wrote me. He's like, "Are you having problems? All I hear is Kern schools." I'm like, nope, that's just us.
Wait, are we running same ads on our stuff and radio?
We're doing everything from here. He's just got a kid that's gonna dip it for the ID.
But his advertisers are getting their spots.
Oh yeah, they're getting more than they paid for.
Okay.
Because we didn't sell anything. So just sold that sponsorship,
Which is great, but
yeah.
I don't. God.
But see, this is what Fessler sold up here. Mission Bank, Hocking Denton, and they get 5, 3, and 3. This is all him.
Yeah.
Up here. And then we have to put Kern Schools in minimum of 7 times. You've got to read it 4 times because that's their only sponsor.
Right.
Got some allergies?
A little bit.
That sucks.
Mostly just talking this much and raising your voice and stuff.
Dude. Yeah, I can't do it.
By the end of the year, I'll be fine, but I haven't done it in so long
Oh, that makes sense.
that kind of my throat, my sinuses are not used to it.
All right, we're about 30 seconds out. Stand by. 5 seconds.
Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach Ewing here out at Sam Tobias Field. About 3 minutes away from the start of the second half here between Garces and BCHS. This is the BVarsity Live Game of the Week, brought to you by Bakersfield Christian and the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. Liberty and Clovis West knotted 21-21 up in Clovis, and the Golden Eagles' Blake Schaefer has just intercepted a screen pass and returned it all the way down inside the 5-yard line. So Clovis West knocking on the door, trying to take its first lead of the game against Liberty. Stockdale trailing Ridgeview 8-7, just had a touchdown wiped off by penalty. So it's still 8-7 there. The Mustangs still threatening, but they do not score. And so our top 2 teams in the BVarsity rankings, Ridgeview and Stockdale, or excuse me, Liberty and Stockdale, both facing big challenges. And here it's Garces 14, Bakersfield Christian 6. Elisha Ortiz has just set up 1st and 10 at the Ridgeview 11 for Stockdale. So top 2 teams in the rankings could be both trailing in the second half within a few minutes. We'll have to keep you updated on those. Another big score, Cesar Chavez 14, South High 0. So Jesse Ortega taking over for Casey Quinn with the Titans and not losing a step as Chavez up 2 touchdowns on South as they begin the second half there. Arvin leading to 18 at the half. It's East 14, Delano 6 at the half. Shafter leading Miramonte 7-0. Many of these games, by the way, are now late into the third or even into the fourth quarter. Here, we still await the beginning of the second half. And again, they set the 3-minute clock for a team's warm-up period, but neither team is out on the field yet, so they haven't started the 3-minute warm-up clock yet. Garces about to run out onto the field. BCHS just now appearing through the gate over there on the southeast side of the field. And there they are. And the Rams coming in from the southwest corner of the field. Here on the campus of Garces Memorial High School. Warm-up clock has started. We are less than 3 minutes away from the second half. BCHS does get the ball first. And that's really what could be shocking. BCHS scores in this first possession. This game could theoretically be tied or close to it, despite really dominance by Garces in every category except one, and that's the turnovers. So Garces with 4 very costly turnovers, Bakersfield Christian just with 1. It'll be interesting to see when the Eagles come out for the first time here in the second half, who will be at quarterback. Austin Gaines got the first quarter. Braden Wingle got the second quarter, but Wingle was much more effective. 6 of 9 for 96 yards, and the Eagles' only touchdown on the night versus Austin Gaines' 7 of 14 for just 40 yards. Touchdown Stockdale. And the PAT, and the Mustangs go up on Ridgeview 14-8. Try to get an update from Clovis as well, where Clovis West was trying to go up on Liberty. And no update there. Clovis West apparently has been pushed back a little bit because of a sack and some penalties there. Liberty defense trying to hold at the goal line. Stockdale 14, Ridgeview 8. That is the shocking score of week 1 right now. Clovis West settled for a field goal, but they lead Liberty 24-21. 1:52 left in the third quarter there. So both the number 1 and number 2 teams in the BVarsity rankings and the Division 1 and 2 section champions from a year ago are trailing in the third quarter here in the 2015-16 season opener. Shorthanded Ridgeview down 14-8 against Stockdale, and Liberty trails number 6 Clovis West 24-21. First time Liberty has trailed in that one. And the first time they've trailed against a section opponent, I think, since early in their quarterfinal against Central last year. I think Central had a brief lead in that game before Liberty turned on the Jets, won that game, and then blew out Bullard in the semifinals and Clovis in the championship game en route to the school's first Division I section championship. Of course, tomorrow night we've got football as well, with Bakersfield High playing Pleasant Grove out of Elk Grove at 5 o'clock down in Ventura. That's as part of the Brothers in Arms Classic at Ventura College. And then the nightcap, the game to follow, will be Centennial taking on the host school, St. Bonaventure of Ventura, one of the very top schools in the state, at 8 o'clock. And the Golden Hawks will be shorthanded as well without Cole Beatty in that game. Second half just about ready to begin. Brandon Villalobos and his kick team are on the field for Garces. We are still waiting on Bakersfield Christian's return team. And then the second half will be underway shortly. I think the referee's going over there trying to hurry up the Eagles a little bit. They've got that NFL mentality over there. David Carr, the offensive coordinator, and, well, we don't take TV timeouts in high school. Here come the Eagles. Figure's going to go back to return. Villalobos to kick. Of course, Derek Carr, the third Carr brother, with Darren and David here on the sidelines. He's preparing for the Raiders' third preseason game. That'll be tomorrow. Into the third quarter out in the desert. Boron 18, Kern Valley 14. So if you're out on the way to Vegas and you're listening to us on 1230 ESPN Bakersfield, you could stop off at the 58 and check out the fourth quarter of Kern Valley and Boron there. Here comes the second half kick from Garces. And it will go into the end zone. Villalobos 3 for 3 on touchbacks. And that's a weapon. That's going to make BCHS start from the 20 every time you kick it off. That's certainly a special teams weapon for the Rams, and they have had the better of special teams in this game. With a big kickoff return to start, blocked an extra point, and also in the kicking game. So BCHS will start the second half, trailing Garces 14-6 from its own 20-yard line. How about a soccer update for you? Cal State Bakersfield 3, Sacramento State 1 into the second half at the main soccer field on the campus of CSUB. So the Roadrunners getting their WAC season off to a good start. But it's all prep football all the time right now. Tracking several scores around the county. Cesar Chavez, end of three quarters, still leading South 14-0. Handoff to Figures, and a big hole on the right side for Figures to run through. He's got a first down. Didn't take him long to get up to the 30 and maybe the 31 there. So BCHS had 0 net rushing yards in that first half. A little bit of a commitment to running the ball, and they get big yardage, 11 of them, on the first snap of the second half. That is only the third carry of the night for Stephen Figures. He's also caught 3 balls out of the backfield. You sort of expected him to be having a little more action. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. The quarterback, by the way, is Wingle, Braden Wingle. We wondered about that, and here he'll keep the ball. Nothing doing, though. It bounced out of bounds right at the 30. That might have been a loss of a yard. It was a loss of a yard on the play. So Eagles try to come out running the ball. A short loss on 1st and 10, and it'll be 2nd down. Liberty with the ball back, start of the 4th quarter, trailing Clovis West 24-21. East High still leading Delano 14-6. Wingle in the shotgun here. 2nd down and long for BCHS. To the right side. Was that picked off? It was. Tipped off the receiver's hands, and Chris Coleman scooped it off of the turf for an interception. What a play by Chris Coleman.
That's Chris Snatch Coleman with the interception.
It looked like Alex Wallace was the intended receiver. It bounced off of his hands. Actually, I beg your pardon, that's Alan Ronk, number 5, was the intended receiver. And it looked like it was going to be an incompletion. Coleman dove and got his hands under that ball. No video replay in high school football, of course. So the referee's ruling will stand. That was very close, but they rule that Coleman got his hands under the football.
34-yard line.
No return by Coleman. He was diving for the ball, obviously, so he's down as soon as he gets it. But the 2nd straight turnover for BCHS, and Garces set up at the Eagles' 34. Now Bruce fakes a handoff, and he'll keep. And here comes the track speed inside the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown Garces. Connor Bruce right up the middle. And a 34-yard touchdown run. Track speed, football field, touchdown Rams. An injured BCHS defender back at the line of scrimmage. Huge turn of events. The tip drill interception by Chris Coleman, and then the 34-yard touchdown run for Connor Bruce. 34 yards, nothing for the section's 200-meter track champion. Before we kick the extra point, we'll have to tend to the injured BCHS Eagle here. Gets up to his feet. It's 84. That's Carson Balfans, one of the veteran BCHS defenders, and he is walking off under his own power, but certainly not very happy after giving up the 34-yard touchdown run to Connor Bruce. Bruce now with 141 yards through the air and 88 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns passing, 1 rushing. Villalobos on for the extra point. Garces scored 60 seconds into the first half. They have now scored 83 seconds into the second half. The Coleman interception, the Bruce touchdown, and now Villalobos on for the extra point. Here's Villalobos. Looks like Garces moved before the snap, so that'll cost him 5 on the extra point here.
False start against Garces, 5-yard penalty.
Miramonte has scored his first touchdown of the season. They missed the PAT, however, and Shafter maintains that lead 7-6. Generals over Lions. So now an extra point from 25 yards. It was deflected, and it actually hits the back judge, comes up short. So a blocked kick there for BCHS, and Garces will settle for a 20-6 lead. That is the score, 10:37 to go in the third quarter. Garces 20, Bakersfield Christian 6. Back after this.
7 remaining in the third quarter. Garces 20, BCHS 6. Don't go away.
Back at Garces for the kickoff here. 20-6, Garces leading Bakersfield Christian after Connor Bruce's 34-yard touchdown run. And Villalobos just had his PAT deflected and no good, but he's here to kick off looking for his 4th touchback in as many tries. The Rams, 2-8 last year, but they appear to be much improved. That's certainly the case early on. Bakersfield Christian was 7-4 last year. Did not play too many Division II teams like Garces, but still a quality opponent here tonight for the Rams. And so far, other than 4 turnovers, it has been basically all Garces. Villalobos waiting for the referee's signal here. Now sends his kick team out. And BCHS has Stephen Figure standing back at his own goal line, hoping for a chance to return one of these kicks. And he may get this chance. He has to come up. He takes the ball at the 7 and then lost it again, picks it up. Now he wheels around to the right, and in a broken field situation, it's going to be a real nice return for Figures. Stiff arms a man and then is forced out past the 30. So potential disaster for BCHS, and instead it brought all of the Garces cover men to one side of the field. Figures ran to the near side and got 30 yards on the return. So best field position of the night for BCHS. Out at its own 33-yard line. 10:26 to play, third quarter. Garces leading Bakersfield Christian 20-6. And it looks like that may be Austin Gaines back in at quarterback. He takes the snap, hands off to Figures. Figures now trying to run around the left side, but he is tripped up by one Garces defender and then a straight-up wrestling takedown well behind the line of scrimmage by another on the far sideline. I'm just going to guess Isaiah Martin based on the fact that that was a wrestling takedown. But it wasn't. I don't even think Martin's on the field. But it made me think of wrestling. It was Brian Pantoja who made a terrific tackle there. And it's a loss of 5 yards for Figures.
Loss on the play back to
so second down and 16, second down and 15 here for the Eagles. They trail at 20-6. Still early third quarter, 10:07 to play.
Wingle out of the shotgun.
Play action pass, slant pattern, incomplete. Intended for Figures. Austin Gaines is indeed back at quarterback.
Scott Boylan on the coverage.
So BCHS going with a 2-quarterback system. Gaines had the first quarter, Wingle had the second quarter, and the first series of this third quarter. And now it's Austin Gaines again, firing incomplete there. Taft with a running clock on Golden Valley. Or, excuse me, 34-7, not quite a running clock. Frontier does have a running clock on Cabrillo, 42-0 for the Titans in that game. Cabrillo was 1-9 last year, but they were a young team, so you figure they have a lot coming back. Meanwhile, Stockdale still leading Ridgeview 14-8. Gaines back to pass here on 3rd and long, throwing off his back foot and well short of the sticks and the receiver, incomplete. Intended receiver was Foster trying to come back for that ball. But even had he caught it, he would have been a good 7-8 yards short of the first down. And BCHS will have to punt.
Figures back to punt for the Eagles.
So Garces leading 20-6, and the Rams going to get the ball back with a chance to add to that lead. This is the BVarsity Live game of the week, brought to you by the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and Bakersfield Christian High School. The punt from Stephen Figures, another line drive effort. Coleman comes up, has to dive to catch that ball, so no return. He does prevent any sort of a roll, and Garces takes over at its own 45-yard line. Fans, you can get pre-approved before purchasing your vehicle. Step 1 in auto buying isn't looking at which vehicle to purchase, it's finding out which vehicles you can purchase. Whether you're in the market for a new or used automobile, motorcycle, or RV, Kern Schools offers low rates and flexible terms. Don't wait any longer. Cover step 1 and get your pre-approval today. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union voted the best financial institution in Kern County 22 years in a row. Visit www.ksfcu.org for more information. Garces leading 20-6, 9:51 to play. Third quarter, and the Rams with the ball at their own 45. It's Bruce keeping, turns the corner on a dime, and now he's got some green in front of him. Connor Bruce run out of bounds, but not before he picks up a big gainer. 20-plus yards. Let's see where they mark him out, but easily into BCHS territory. Figures, who's really had to run down Bruce a lot today, pushes him out again, and that is a 23-yard gain. They'll mark him out, 22-yard gain. They'll mark him out at the 33. With that play, Bruce now up over 100 yards rushing on the day, also over 100 yards passing. So he is certainly one of your week 1 stars across the valley. Now Martin, no, that's not Martin. That's a shovel pass to 22, Cam Roberson. And he picks up about 3 yards on that play. BCHS defends that one pretty well. So 2nd and 7 from the 30. Emmanuel and Desert tied 20-20. Kern Valley has just taken the lead on Boron, 21-18. Ridgeview trailing 14-8 has 4th and 10 in Stockdale territory. Bruce takes the snap, whistles blow before the snap. Now, it was either movement on Garces or it's offside on BCHS because there was an Eagle defender flying through the line of scrimmage there. Question is whether he was drawn. Here is this verdict from the referee. Stockdale scored again. It's 20-8. And the penalty here is against BCHS. And a bad snap on 4th down for Ridgeview. The number 1 Wolfpack is in big trouble. 4:30 to go in the third quarter. They trail 21-8. After the penalty here, a 5-yard penalty, it'll be 2nd down and 2 for Garces. At the 25. Trips to the right for Bruce. He's looking that direction, now firing across the middle. Reaching up and making the catch for the touchdown is Chris Coleman. 25 yards. Bruce to Coleman, his 3rd touchdown strike of the night. And now the Rams can breathe a little bit easier despite all of those turnovers. It is Garces 26 and Bakersfield Christian 6. Villalobos on for the extra point.
Christopher Snatch Coleman with the score.
Coleman's first touchdown as a Garces Ram. He had the big kickoff return earlier. He's also blocked a kick today. He's done it all. Stretched his 6'2" frame out there to make that catch in the center of the end zone. Villalobos' extra point is good, and the score is Garces 27-6 over BCHS here on the BVarsity Game of the Week. Back right after this.
Seconds.
8:32 to play in the third quarter here at Garces, and the Rams have just scored again. 25 yards from Connor Bruce to Chris Coleman, and it is now Garces 27-6 over Bakersfield Christian. Liberty trailing 24-21, but driving at Clovis West. That game in the fourth quarter. Bryson Falconer just completed a long pass to Johnny Balderas. We'll see if the Patriots can tie or take the lead in that game as it is deep into the fourth quarter. Here's a final. East 14, Delano 6. So David Finucchi's Blades, only one win all of 2015. They start out 1-0 in 2016. That's just down the road there on Mount Vernon. Here it's 27-6 Garces, 8:32 to play. Victory of the week, though, so far has to go to Stockdale if they can hang on against Ridgeview, up 21-8, that game late in the third quarter. Ridgeview has not lost to a section opponent since week 5 of the 2014 season when Bakersfield High got them. Line drive kick. Figures takes it at his own 4.
4-yard line.
And he's got a couple of defenders bearing down on him. Tries to reverse field, but he's buried inside the 15-yard line. Great kick coverage by the Rams.
Number 10, Kevon
Bad field
Mann,
position again for BCHS. Field position has certainly been one of the deciding factors in this game. Eagles will start at their own 14. This is one of the more difficult games BCHS will play all year long, so I don't know that it's devastating for them to lose this game, but certainly an opportunity down the drain if they cannot complete a big comeback here. 27-6 Garces leads. BCHS has the ball at its own 14. 8:26 to play in the third quarter. Gaines has to pick the snap up off the turf, and now he's in scramble mode. He does get back to the line of scrimmage as a flag flies. He's buried by 6 Garces defenders. Maybe a gain of a yard, but we'll check the flag. It is going to be against BCHS. It's a holding call. And that's pretty common in those scenarios where you're trying to keep the dam from breaking. Well, fans, is home buying over your head? Getting pre-approved for a home loan helps you understand the home buying process and your financial limits before you start looking for your dream home. Come into Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and get, I'm going to try that again. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and get pre-approved today. After the holding call, it's going to be half the distance against BCHS. It will remain first down. And we'll see where they mark it. Probably maybe the 6 or 7 yard line. Call it the 7-yard line. 1st and 17 from there.
Half the distance to the goal
touchdown line for Liberty. 9-yard touchdown run by the sophomore Sammy Stewart. Liberty now leading Clovis West 28-24. Still 7:29 to play in that game. South has scored a defensive touchdown. Now Gaines will throw here. And the pass is caught. Pass caught by Jordan Smith, but he is hit immediately and dropped. Cam Roberson there again, a gain of, maybe 3 yards there. And it'll be 2nd and long. Ball spotted at the 10. 2nd and 14. BCHS really in trouble if they can't score here, or at least if they can't get a first down. You're going to give Garces good field position again. The Rams have been moving the ball, already converted twice for touchdowns in this half. 2nd and 14. Gaines back to pass. The lefty has some time. He's going to look deep. Flag flies, and the pass overthrown over everybody's head. And that's in the situation where you could see a defensive hold when you see a pass that far overthrown. It could be because a receiver was held. Let's see what the call is. Referees discussing it. And the call is a hold against the defense, as we suspected. And so that will give an automatic first down to BCHS. A little bit of a bailout there, but you hold that receiver, and they'll call you every time. So a defensive hold at the 10. Move it out to the 20. And I beg your pardon, it is not an automatic first down. It does remain 2nd down, but instead of 2nd and 14, it's going to be 2nd and 4.
Penalty takes the ball up to the 20-yard line. 2nd and 6.
2nd and a long 4 for BCHS from its own 20.
Wingle out of the shotgun.
Now it's Braden Wingle in there, and he completes the pass up the middle on a post route. That was a nice throw, hitting in stride. I think that was Christian McGill.
To 86, Christian McGill, tackled by Kevon
So
Mann.
Wingle back into the game. He was 6 of 9 in the first half. He did throw an interception in the first series of the second half. That goes for 19 yards and an easy first down up to the 39. So the defensive holding call just might have sparked the Rams here, or the Eagles here. They are now first down at their own 39, needing to score at least 3 times to win this game. Another bad snap picked up off the turf and a handoff to Figures. Figures trying to avoid tackles in the backfield, and he cannot. 3 Ram defenders were there. 57 Daniel Cameron makes the takedown, and a loss of about a yard for Figures. Good one going down at Foothill. Kennedy 22, Foothill 21. 4:26 left in the third quarter there. Garces defense has done a brilliant job on Stephen Figures. Only 10 yards rushing on 5 carries for Figures. It is Wingle in the shotgun. And he throws complete to Wallace. Wallace breaks one tackle right at the sticks, and then he is hit hard at the Garces 45. So it's a first down, a nice catch by Wallace and a nice move, and then he was punished for it. And he appears to be okay, and it's a 17-yard gain. Well, BCHS came into this game with 2 quarterbacks, Wingle and Austin Gaines. There is no question that Wingle has been more effective tonight. No question at all about that. And Wingle's in there now. Backing up, screen setup. It's complete and some room to run for 22 Holloway. Brock Holloway taking it down inside the 35 for another first down.
With the catch and first down, Brock Holloway.
That is a gain of 13 and a first down.
First down, BCHS.
146 yards through the air now for Wingle, and he's only played about half of the game. 5:26 and counting to play, third quarter. Garces leading Bakersfield Christian 27-6, but BCHS on the move. Now Wingle in the shotgun, standing at the Garces 36. Pump fakes, now going deep. Looking and dropped deep by Wallace. Would have been a tough catch, but Wallace did have his hands on it inside the 10-yard line and can't come up with it. First incomplete pass on this drive for BCHS. In fact, Wingle had the interception on the first drive of this half. But overall, he's been pretty efficient. He's 9 of 14 now through the air for 146 yards. Second down and 10 at the 31. And the Garces defense looking for a big stop here. They've turned the ball over a lot, but they lead it by 3 TDs. Wingle in trouble, but he gets away on the run, and then he's dragged down by his shoulder pads after a gain of maybe 4. Nice scramble by Wingle, showing his athleticism.
Down to the 27 of Garces.
And it's going to bring up a 3rd and maybe 6 for BCHS on a crucial drive. Eagles have to have points on this drive. 4:32 and counting to play, third quarter. And a 3-touchdown deficit for BCHS. Probably 4-down territory for the Eagles here. 3rd and 6 at the Garces 27-yard line. Back to pass is Wingle. It's complete short and taken down short of the sticks as the receiver. It's going to be 4th down and short. That was only a gain of maybe 2 yards.
Cameron Roberson along with Chris Coleman on the tackle.
I think that was Holloway who caught that ball. I'm not positive of that. A short gain makes it 4th and 4, and it is 4-down territory for the Eagles. And you hate to say it with 15-plus minutes still to play, but this could very well be your ball game. A 3-touchdown lead for Garces already. BCHS trying to get into that. 4th and 3, in and out of the hands of the intended target, McGill. And BCHS will turn the ball over on downs.
And the Garces defense holds.
So with 3:28 to play in the third quarter, Garces will take over.
Matt Renzi on the coverage.
And it is first down Rams. They lead it 27-6. Update on that Clovis West Liberty game. Liberty still leading 28-24. Clovis West a 3rd and 10 on the Liberty half of the 50. Final 5 minutes of that one. Stockdale still leading Ridgeview. Got to correct the earlier score. It's not 21-8, it is 20-8 for the Mustangs. That game going to the 4th quarter. Now 4th and 4 for Clovis West, so it could be the ball game coming up at Clovis. Here, Garces has first down, and Isaiah Martin with the ball. Good job by the BCHS defense getting a push there. Looked like number 55, Robert Gonzalez, the big defensive tackle, with a nice push. And that's probably the best job BCHS has done against Martin since early in the game. Martin got maybe a yard there.
Ball at the Garces 25-yard line. 3 minutes.
That was actually Isaiah Martin's first carry of the second half after he had 10 in the first half. So 2nd and 9 at the 25 now. Stockdale has scored again. Boy, they are routing Ridgeview 27-8. Option play. Scott Boylan turns the corner, and he stumbles but is still on his feet. Scott Boylan is off to the races down the left sideline. He's going to go all the way. A 75-yard touchdown run. No flags on the field. The option. And Garces selects Scott Boylan touchdown. 75 yards. And the route very well may be on here at Sam Tobias Field. Garces has scored for the 3rd time in this 3rd quarter. And they now lead Bakersfield Christian 33-6 with the extra point yet to come. Beautiful pitch by Bruce. Did exactly what he was supposed to do, made the defender commit. Pitches to his left. Boylan was hit in stride. He had 10, 15 yards when he stumbled and managed to keep his feet, and at that point, there was nobody to stop him. Villalobos' extra point is good. Garces leads BCHS 34-6, 2:37 left in the 3rd. Back after this on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield. Back at Garces, where the Rams have made a rout of this game. They lead Bakersfield Christian 34-6 with 2:37 to play in the 3rd quarter. What a performance, master class from Garces here. If it weren't for those first half turnovers, it would be an even bigger lead. As it is, it's 34-6. Villalobos set for the kickoff. Still late 3rd quarter. Couple of scoring updates. Stockdale leading Ridgeview 27-8. And it looks like Liberty has intercepted Clovis West. They take over with a 28-24 lead. Still 3.5 minutes left for the Patriots to kill. Looking for a very big victory for Kern County and seeding purposes in Division 1 up in Clovis. Well, Trevor and I said on Facebook Live, on the BVarsity Live Facebook page earlier today, that Garces was a title threat in Division 2. They could be the most improved team in the Valley, and nothing we have seen tonight would suggest otherwise. 34-6. And remember, I keep mentioning the 4 turnovers. 3 of them were in the red zone, inside the 15-yard line even. It could be much worse. BCHS has been outclassed, and Villalobos just does get a touchback out of this one. Wallace made the catch, or Figures made the catch, but had to lean over into the end zone to do it, and it is a touchback. So the Eagles will take over from their 20. We'll see who the quarterback is for BCHS now. Braden Wingle, has been much better. statistically than Austin Gaines. However, Gaines was the starter in name. Liberty trying to run out that clock. They have a 3rd and 5 with 2:20 to go from their own 20. So if they can't get that, they will be forced to punt, and Clovis West would have another chance. Bullard, by the way, very impressive all over Central, 24-3. Wingle pump fakes now going deep. He's got a man, and it is caught by Foster. Was he in bounds? Yes, it's complete. Foster's had a big night. That's his first catch of the second half, but it goes for 28 yards. And he is up to 110 yards receiving now.
Wingle complete to Jeremiah Foster.
And now BCHS with a first down up at its 48-yard line. Highland leads Arvin 34-18. Late third quarter there as well. And BCHS trying to make something happen here. They have been blown over in this third quarter. It started, they were down 14-6 and had the ball. 20 points later, it's 34-6 Garces, and BCHS trying to regain its footing. Final score down at South. Cesar Chavez 14, South 6. Great result for Jesse Ortega in his first game as Chavez head coach. That looks like a false start penalty against BCHS. So that costs them 5, and it'll be 1st and 15 here. Eagles have gone for a lot of big plays, and they've hit a couple of them, but Garces' secondary has held up very well and certainly has stiffened when they've had to on defense. And on offense, Garces has just gone up and down the field all night, and when they've hung on to it, they've scored touchdowns. Lots of them. 5 of them. Wingle in trouble. Wingle is going to be not caught from behind. He got away somehow and completes the pass to Figures. And Figures a nice open field tackle made by Jalen Fisher there for Garces, a shoestring tackle. And that will be a gain of about 9 yards. It'll set up 2nd down and 6 for BCHS. We're going to pause real quick, a 10-second break for station ID.
Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7.
This is the BVarsity Live game of the week. Bakersfield Christian at Garces. Next week we will have Stockdale and Independence for you. And Stockdale certainly coming off of a very big win. Wingle, another snap he had to pick up. Looking again for Foster. And Foster, I believe, came up with that ball, but he was out of bounds. Inside the 30, down at the 20.
Foster just out of bounds with his feet on
that looked like a circus catch for Foster from where I'm sitting, but he was clearly well out of bounds when he caught it. So it's an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd and 7 at the Garces 49.
1:27 remaining in the third quarter.
Inside of 2 minutes to play in this third quarter.
3rd and 8.
And BCHS down 34-6, looking for any kind of a spark here. Again, final score, Chavez 14 and South 6. A screen set up here to Figures. He's got to make a man miss, and he does, and now has the first down, weaving his way inside the 40 and down to the 36. A nice screen play for BCHS, and a gain of 12, 13 yards there for the first down, and a 3rd down conversion.
Pantoja makes the tackle. BCHS gets the first down, 1:17.
Looking for a Liberty update. Looks like they had a scoreboard malfunction up there, and they're in a delay up at LaMonica Stadium. Here it's first down BCHS at the 37-yard line. Braden Wingle's been a bright spot on a dreary night for BCHS. His next completion, he'll likely go over 200 yards. Up over the middle. That one's incomplete, but there is a flag. Intended for Wallace. If that's holding, that's one thing. If it's pass interference, I say that ball was uncatchable. It was well over Wallace's head. But they may rule that he was held, and that's why it was over his head.
Land on the coverage.
Here's a score for
Pass
you.
interference
Paso
against
Robles
Garces.
35, Lemoore 10. That's a final. So Lemoore, one of the top 15 teams in the section. It will be a pass interference call against Garces. So 15 yards there, down to the 22. BCHS driving, one of their
Penalty takes
deeper
the ball
drives
to
of the night.
Garces' 22-yard line.
Inside of a minute to go in the third quarter. Garces in control here, leading BCHS 34-6. Sammy Stewart, a 9-yard first down run for Liberty, and I believe they can run the clock out on Clovis West now in the game of the night in the section.
Get ready, sports
See if we can
fans,
get a
for
final
50-50
score on that in a minute.
drawing. We'll be pulling the ticket at the end of the quarter.
Whistles blow here. BCHS,
50-50 raffle ticket.
I think,
Check
being
your
allowed to
number.
substitute for either an injury or an equipment malfunction over there. I think it's an injury. One of their players down on a knee on the sideline. Final score out in Taft, the Wildcats with a great performance, 47-7 over Golden Valley. You can mark them in as a D4 section title contender. And Golden Valley, which made the D3 semifinals last year, with some questions to answer after that one. Handoff to Figures as we return to action here at Garces. And the Bakersfield Christian senior fights his way down to the 20, a gain of about 2. And it will be 2nd down and 8.
Joseph Tobias on the tackle.
Joe Tobias made the tackle for Garces. Not a lot of running room out there for Stephen Figures today. And it is a final. Liberty 28, Clovis West 24. What a performance for the Patriots. Defending section champions, beating what could be a section title contender this year in a big game for seeding. Wingle to throw off the fingertips and incomplete, intended for Carson Balfans. So Wingle goes incomplete, and it's 3rd and 8 with 6 seconds to go in this quarter. So probably one more snap in this third quarter.
3rd down. Ball spotted right
3rd and 8 at the Garces 20.
20.
BCHS has gotten to this part of the field several times tonight, but just hasn't been able to really punch it in other than one beautiful touchdown catch by Jeremiah Foster back in the first half. That cut the Garces lead to 14-6, but would get no closer, that's for sure. Wingle on the run, being chased, and he will throw on the run, and it is incomplete. Looking again for Balfans, and that is how the third quarter will end. Actually, it is not, because there's a penalty flag on the ground again. Jalen Fisher had nice coverage there for Garces.
Ineligible man down.
And it is a penalty against BCHS. I believe that's a loss of down penalty anyway, but Garces may just decline it and get to the fourth quarter. Ineligible downfield against BCHS. It is declined, and that will be the end of the third quarter here on the BVarsity Live Game of the Week. Your score, Garces 34, Bakersfield Christian 6. The Rams dominate the third quarter, and they go into the fourth with a big lead. Right back on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230.
All right, we have Nevada Allison up here. She's going to draw the winning 50-50 raffle ticket. There she is, sports fans. Princess Allison. And our winning number tonight is a yellow ticket, 955074. The pot tonight is $339,000. 955-074.
Back at Garces, the BVarsity Live game of the week. Scoreboard check for you. Final score again, the big one in the section, Liberty 28, Clovis West 24. The other big one, Stockdale continuing to lead Ridgeview 27-8, that game in the fourth quarter. Another final score, Wasco beats Coalinga 28-6. Tigers pulling away in that one. Here, BCHS faces a 4th down and 8. They trail it 34-6 against Garces. Braden Winger, a screen pass to Figures. He's got to get to about the 12, and he's going to do it, weaving in and out of Garces defenders down inside the 10. And BCHS converts.
Nevada would like to say something.
That's 12 yards on a 4th and 8. That screen pass to Figures has been effective on this drive for BCHS.
And Mission Bank for making this possible. Thank you.
And as mentioned earlier, Wingle goes over 200 yards passing on that play. It's 1st and goal for BCHS from the Garces 8. We haven't seen very many goal-to-go situations in this game.
Goal, BCHS
both teams really
7-yard line.
striking with big plays. Garces many more times than BCHS, obviously, with the 34-6 scoreline. Another low snap. Braden Wingle is going to be swarmed at the 15 by a host of Garces defenders. He's done well with bad snaps before, but that time Joe Tobias was bearing down on him, among others. And it will be a sack and a loss of about 6 yards. Well, I got to say, Stockdale, they just scored again, 34-8. Elisha Ortiz, another touchdown run. I mean, 34-8 against Ridgeview. The consensus #1 team in the section last year, and one of the top 5 teams certainly going into this year. And Stockdale running roughshod over the Wolfpack tonight. Now, a shorthanded Wolfpack team, to be sure, but I don't know if it would have made 26 points difference. Handoff up the middle. Inside the 10 again, go the Eagles. That was Wallace, Alex Wallace with the carry.
Ball carrier number 2, Alex Wallace.
And he gets back
Daniel Cameron on the tackle.
to about
3rd and goal.
the 10-yard line, I believe.
8-yard line.
Actually make that the 9. And it'll be 3rd down and goal. I'll tell you what, another team that's been impressive tonight, the North High Stars. Down 7-0 early. They have been all over Independence ever since. I'm going to make sure I get the right score for you, but I believe they're up fairly big on Independence now. Wingle looking in the end zone on 3rd down, and it's incomplete, but another flag throw. So a couple things for Garces tonight. The turnovers, their secondary also been called for quite a few penalties. BCHS, of course, trying to draw some of those, and they've been successful. We'll see the call here. It is pass interference against Garces. That's going to be a 1st down. And it should be placed at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal for BCHS. Shafter has scored again. Escalante to Perez, 43-yard touchdown pass. Generals lead Miramonte 14-6. Still a one-possession game, 5:44 to play there.
3rd and 4 play, low snap.
Handoff up the middle, and it is a BCHS touchdown.
Touchdown, BCHS.
And the Eagles back on the board for the first time here in the second half. A 3-yard touchdown run there for Alex Wallace. No, 22, excuse me, Brock Holloway with the touchdown. And with 9:41 to play, BCHS cuts the Garces lead to 34-12 with the PAT pending. We'll see if the Eagles may go for 2 here. Yeah, it looks like they are. No kicker on the field. So it's going to be
BCHS will go for the 2-point conversion.
a 2-point try for the Eagles from the 3. They just scored from here. If they can do it again, it will be a 20-point game with 9:41 to go. And maybe a faint pulse for BCHS. Wingle keeps the ball under pressure, throws in the middle. It's juggled. And I don't know if it hit the turf. Yeah, no, it was caught by BCHS. A little tip drill there, but the ball is caught for the 2-point conversion. And so your score now, Garces 34 and BCHS 14. That was a Jordan Smith catch for the conversion. We'll take a break on BVarsity Live and be right back after this. We're back here on the BVarsity Live game of the week. Bakersfield Christian has just scored to open the ledger in the fourth quarter, a 3-yard touchdown run for Brock Holloway, and then they get the 2-point conversion on a tipped ball that was caught by Jordan Smith in the end zone. So Garces' lead is now 34-14 here with 9:41 to play. And you got to wonder, a 3-possession game, BCHS, if you're serious about winning this game, I think you got to try an onside kick. Ridgeview has scored a touchdown on Stockdale, but still down big. 34-14, I believe, is also the score there. We'll see BCHS if they do go for the onside here, if they're going to kick it deep and try to get one more defensive stop in this game or possibly a turnover.
De Los Santos to kick it away.
De Los Santos, the kicker for the Eagles. 34-14 Garces, 9:41 left.
Deep to receive.
And the kick is a squibber, and it will be picked up at about the 12 by Boylan. He showed off his speed earlier. He slips through a gap in the defense, and the kicker, the only man who can beat him, he slows him down, but cannot stop him. And Scott Boylan tackled by the turf monster at the 20-yard line. Oh, my goodness. He had done all the hard work. And then the brand new turf here at Sam Tobias Field trips him up. An 88-yard kickoff return. It was not to be. He will settle for about 73 yards. I don't know if Scott Boylan got tired or if the invisible hand just got him there. But he trips at the 20 and falls at the 15. No defender in the area. I dare say BCHS probably should have tried the onside kick there instead of kicking to Boylan. He made him pay.
Jack Tobias cramping up on the play.
Looks like Jack Tobias shaking up for Garces, limping off. Looks like a cramp there. 9:25 to play. Garces looking for the finishing touches here. A first down at the BCHS 15, leading 34-14. Bruce in the shotgun. He hands off. Handoff on the end around to Jalen Fisher. And he's dancing down the sideline. And he is out of bounds, just shy of the goal line. They mark him out in that far corner at about the 3. So a gain of 12 for Fisher. His first carry of the night on an end around. And boy, you can just see the weapons this Garces team has. The fact that a guy that quick has not touched the ball on offense hardly at all. Isaiah Martin, Cam Roberson, Scott Boylan, Connor Bruce. Just doesn't end. Chris Coleman. Here's Martin bottled up and pushed back behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. They'll mark his forward progress at the 7, maybe the 8. So a big loss on that play, and it'll be 2nd and goal there. In fact, they mark him all the way back at the 10-yard line, a loss of 7 for Isaiah Martin. He had 67 yards in the first half. He's in the negatives here in the second half, although only on a couple of carries. So now 2nd and goal, Garces. They lead at 34-14, 8:32 and counting, fourth quarter. Bruce back to pass.
To the end zone.
Incomplete. There was really nobody there in the middle of the end zone. Not sure who that was intended for. Well, fans, is home buying over your head? Getting pre-approved for a home loan helps you understand the home buying process and your financial limits before you start looking for your dream home. Come into Kern School's Federal Credit Union and get pre-approved today. It'll be 3rd and goal, Garces. They lead 34-14 with 8:22 to play now in this fourth quarter. First incompletion of the second half there by Connor Bruce. Of course, only his 3rd attempt of the second half. He's 6 of 9 for the game now, but he's gained a lot of yards on those passes. Bad snap. He has to pick it up off the turf. Now Bruce trying to make something happen. He dances out to the left. He's going to run for it. Still on his feet, dives for the pylon. Touchdown, Garces. Connor Bruce seemingly nowhere to go, and he found his way through the defense, down the sideline, and dives inside the pylon for the touchdown on 3rd and goal. This guy is a playmaker. Well over 100 yards rushing and passing tonight, and 5 total touchdowns.
Penalty against Garces, so call it back.
And I beg your pardon, we're going to wipe this one away. A flag down. I did not see it. But no touchdown for the Rams. Second time tonight they've had a touchdown called back. That is a block in the back against the Rams.
Ball spotted down at the 19.
And it's going to be ruled that way right at the line of scrimmage or just a yard beyond it because the ball marked all the way back at the 19 will redo 3rd and goal. Now trying to pass for it, and the ball hit the turf. Right at the goal line, trying to make a sliding catch there was Cam Roberson. But
intended for 20,
excuse me, that's number 20, LeBrevin Austin, and it hit the turf first. So an incomplete pass, and it will be 4th down for the Rams.
8:06, stop of the clock.
Clock at 8:06 and stopped for the moment.
Brandon Villalobos to line up a 36-yard field goal.
Looks like Brandon Villalobos will come out and try a field goal here. This is going to be a 36-yarder. Try to make it a 23-point game, and the snap went through the holder's hands, and we have whistles. So we'll see. This may,
Dead ball,
yeah, it's going to force Garces 5 yards further back.
41-yard field goal attempt.
So certainly things to work on here for A.J. Gass and his staff, but overall they've got to be happy. 34-14 the lead for Garces, 8:06 to play. They're still going to try it. Go ahead and give it a shot here. It's now a 41-yard field goal for Brandon Villalobos.
The snap, the set, Villalobos' kick
The
is
kick
up.
is a line drive. It has the distance, and it squirts on through for a field goal. And Garces extends its lead now 37-14 with 8:01 to play in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break here on the BVarsity Live Game of the Week and be right back with you. Back live at Garces, where the Rams enjoying a 37-14 beatdown of Bakersfield Christian with 8 minutes and 1 second to play here on the BVarsity Live Game of the Week. Zach Ewing with you live on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230 AM. Glad to have you with us. We'll be at Independence next week. The Falcons disappointing against North today, losing 24-7 at last look. Stockdale, boy, they looked really good, leading Ridgeview 34-14 late in that game.
Thanks to Mission Bank.
So we'll see if the Mustangs can keep things rolling next week on the road again at Independence. Remember, Liberty Ridgeview is next week as well. Ridgeview on the wrong end of that Stockdale score, 34-14. Meanwhile, Liberty a huge win up at Clovis West, 28-24. Line drive kickoff by Villalobos. That will go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Eagles will start at the 20. Fans, you can get pre-approved before purchasing your vehicle. Step one in auto buying isn't looking at which vehicle to purchase. It's finding out which vehicles you can purchase. Whether you're in the market for a new or used automobile, motorcycle, or recreational vehicle, Kern Schools offers low rates and flexible terms. Don't wait any longer. Cover step one and get your pre-approval today. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union voted the best financial institution in Kern County 22 years in a row. Visit www.ksfcu.org for more information. And
I'll do it. Nevada, I'll do it. Stay there, I'll do it.
our other sponsor this week, Bakersfield Christian High School. We appreciate them, as we do all of our sponsors and advertisers. Central section final, Bullard 24, Central 3. The Knights defense with a big night. Braden Wingle looking deep on first down, coming back for the ball. A nice back shoulder throw and a catch by Jeremiah Foster. He has had a big night.
Jeremiah Foster,
leading receiver in this game by a long sight. And he gets about 25 more yards there.
25-yard pickup up to the 45-yard
Foster
line.
now up to 135 yards on 8 catches, including one of BCHS 2 touchdowns.
Carlos Rosales on the coverage.
So 1st and 10 at the 45 for BCHS. 37-14. Garces with the lead. 7:54 to play.
Wingo pass
Over the middle, and it's picked off by number 26, Eduardo Munoz with the interception for Garces. Wingo bit off a little more than he could chew there. He is intercepted for the second time tonight. And that should just about do it. Garces is going to take over at its own 40-yard line. And with just 7:49 to play here in the fourth quarter, a 23-point lead for Garces, and the Rams get the ball back. That's the third turnover forced by the Garces defense. They're starting to negate the 4 they committed.
Garces starts at their own 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Plenty
of mistakes by both teams, and both coaches will enjoy having that to talk about. Now Garces will go to work on the clock. Isaiah Martin. He picks up about 6.
Martin, 6
plowing over a defender in the process.
Robert Gonzalez on the play.
And I don't know why the clock stopped there, unless BCHS called a timeout. There it goes, starting again. Garces 37, BCHS 14 here as we enter the final 7+ minutes of this one. We will be live on Bakersfield.com tonight. Trevor Horn and I at 11:15. That's coming up here in less than an hour with a scoreboard show, highlights, anything we can get for you. For about 15-20 minutes, we'll go as long as we need to. Another nice handoff, or another nice carry by Isaiah Martin, and he has the first down. A gain of about 7 that time. And it'll be first down at the BCHS 47.
First down, Garces at the BCHS 48-yard line.
Inside of 7 minutes in running. Garces going to go to 1-0. Remember, they only won 2 games last year. I have a feeling looking at this team, they may triple or better that, even with the Southwest Yosemite League schedule. Handoff to Martin.
Isaiah Martin.
And he's pushed back. In fact, the ball came loose. BCHS had it, and then they lost it. And the Eagles end up with it. And because of the way the ball bounced there, that's all the way back in Garces territory at the 43-yard line. So Martin fumbles. That's the second time he's coughed it up tonight. BCHS had it. Did not see who recovered the initial fumble for BCHS. Then they fumble again. And I think Stephen Figures ended up with the ball. So a couple of fumbles on that play, but it will be BCHS ball at the Garces 43. 6:36 remaining.
First and 10, Eagles. Wingle.
Wingle is going to go deep on the first play, looking for Foster, and it's intercepted. Foster dove for it. The ball popped up in the air, and it's picked off by Garces. The 9th turnover of the night by these two teams.
With the interception.
And that time, it was Ben Castro who was Johnny on the spot, and Foster is down again. He dove for that ball
Out of the hands of the receiver
and kind of threw up the ball into the air as he was diving for it, not intentionally, but just came off of his hands that way. And Castro makes the catch. Foster needs a little bit of assistance to come off the field. Back-to-back turnovers for the second time tonight, and 9 by the two teams. BCHS really technically still in the game, a 3-possession game. Can't fault them for throwing deep there. But Garces intercepts the second consecutive pass by Braden Wingle. And the Rams can continue to go on the clock here. First, we're going to have a timeout. Timeout, Bakersfield Christian here, 6:20 to play. On the BVarsity Live Game of the Week, 37-14 Garces. We're going late night with you here on the BVarsity Live Game of the Week, the season premiere. We approach 10:30, still 6:20 on the clock. And certainly, Garces supporters don't mind sitting here. The BCHS crowd has thinned out a little bit. Garces, one of the most impressive teams in Kern County in this week 1, joining a list that certainly includes Stockdale, Liberty, North High, looking very good. Highland with a nice win over Arvin. Cesar Chavez comes down and beats South in the Rebels' home. Continue to have scores floating in from around the valley.
We have a winner, sports fans.
I know Emmanuel had peaked ahead of Desert 35-26 in an interesting lower division game. Big Division 5 game.
$239,000, the big winner tonight, Mike Strahan. Congratulations.
So here we go after the timeout. Garces will take over from its own 20, leading 37 to 14. Another whistle. Might have been some movement. The flag is in the defensive backfield, so let's see what the call is. That would normally be like a delay of game thing, but the timeout had just ended. I don't know if that.
Illegal substitution against BCHS.
It's an illegal substitution against the Eagles, is what the call is. They had 12 men on the field, and so a free 5 yards for Garces.
5-yard penalty, 1st and 5, 6:18.
Well, sloppy stuff from both teams, also impressive stuff from both teams tonight, especially on the Garces side. Boy, the Rams have looked very explosive tonight. Outside of certainly the turnovers, maybe a few penalties on defense. A handoff to Martin, and he's loose for the first time tonight, and he's showing off his speed. He's inside the 20, and he will score. Another 75-yard touchdown run for Garces. This one by Isaiah Martin, the junior, and another Garces touchdown in a masterclass second half for the Rams. 29 points and counting now for the Rams in the second half. We still have 6 minutes to play. Villalobos on for the extra point. Martin burst through the line of scrimmage, and there was going to be no stopping him. BCHS selling out on defense.
Isaiah Martin, 75 yards.
And certainly nobody to stop Isaiah Martin. He worked hard for his first 76 yards tonight. The last 75 came pretty quickly. Villalobos' extra point is good. And Garces now leads by 30. Your score here on the BVarsity Live Game of the Week. Garces 44, Bakersfield Christian 14. Right back after this.
BCHS 14.
We are back at Garces, Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield, 12:30 a.m. Zach Ewing with you here in the BVarsity Live Game of the Week, where Garces all over Bakersfield Christian by a score of 44-14. It was 14-6 at halftime. Both defenses had their moments in the first half, forcing a few punts, getting some turnovers. Looked like we were going to have a good ball game. Garces will have none of that. And it is a rout in the second half now for the Rams. 44-14.
Number 2, Alex Wallace, back to receive the kick from Villalobos.
Did not take the Rams long in the second half. They got an interception. They scored on the next play on Connor Bruce's 34-yard run. And they just continued to pour it on from there. 30 points scored in the second half. Outscoring BCHS 30-8 since halftime. And that, by the way, the Rams' 5th touchdown that was on either the first or second play of that drive. Just big play after big play. Of their 6 touchdowns, 5 have come on either the first or second play of the drive. That's really your stat of the night. The explosiveness from the Rams.
Wingle out of the shotgun.
And here is Braden Wingle. He's going to look for an explosive play, and he overthrew everybody. Steven Figures was the man standing at the 50, but the ball went 10 yards further than the receiver did. And so Wingle, who had thrown back-to-back interceptions before that play, throws another one, or throws an incompletion this time. No chance for anybody to catch that ball. 2nd down and 10. 6 minutes on the dot to play. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
Wingle out of the shotgun, pass across the middle.
That pass overthrown over the middle. He was looking for Carson Balfans. Wingle and Balfans have not been able to hook up tonight. They've tried several times and have not been able to do it. And now 3rd and 10.
Kevon Land on the coverage.
5's on the clock, 5:55 to go. Bakersfield Christian trying to get something going. They've thrown an awful lot of passes tonight. And right now, not enough of them have found receivers' hands. Besides the 8 catches for Jeremiah Foster. He has 8 catches for 135 yards and a touchdown. But just not enough there for BCHS offensively. Here's another completion. This one to Wallace. Alex Wallace slips out of a tackle and is on the run. He's out close to midfield before he's forced out of bounds. That's a gain of about 27 yards there. BCHS continuing to rack up the passing yards, but it's going to be too little too late. 44-14 Garces, inside of 6 minutes to play.
First down BCHS. Alex Wallace with the 20-yard gain.
27 yards on the play. And BCHS with a first down at its own 47. Wingle back to pass. Wingle under pressure. He'll scramble for it. He's got some room and up the left side and out of bounds. Picked up a nice little gain of, well, close to the first down there. Picked up 8 or 10 yards.
28, Munoz.
Be out of bounds at the 43. They do give him a first down, a 10-yard gain there for Wingle. And it will be a first down at the Garces 43. Well, BCHS has shown some potential. You got to like the way they may look into the second half of their schedule, the remainder of their schedule. Braden Wingle has certainly looked very good. He did not start this game. Austin Gaines did for BCHS. Wingle has completed 16 of 29 passes for 260 yards. He steps up in the pocket to avoid a rush here, but Number 77, big number 77, that's Beck Dombrowski. He is going to get back up and make the sack anyway. So Beck Dobransky
on the sack.
with the sack and the loss of about a yard there, maybe 2. Haven't seen too many sacks from BCHS tonight. You have seen constant pressure from the Eagles, and that's had its effect on BCHS. BCHS not any sort of a running game in the least tonight. It's all been through the air. They've had to earn a lot of it. Garces has made them work, and meanwhile, Garces 5 touchdowns on either the first or second play.
22.
Holloway gets the handoff here, and again, the Eagles struggling to run the ball, just a yard or 2 there.
Gino on the tackle for Garces.
Clock running, 4:03 and counting now. Holloway gets the 2 yards back. It'll be 3rd and 10. Third and 10 at the 43-yard line.
3rd and 11.
And under pressure, a screen pass set up to Holloway. It's complete, and he's picking his way through the second level of the Garces defense. Maybe some backups in there for the Rams and some tired bodies too. And Holloway took advantage of that. He takes the screen and runs with it for a first down. That'll be a 16-yard gain.
Fisher on the tackle for Garces.
And the screen's been very effective for the Eagles tonight. First down at the 27. BCHS marching again. 3:19 on the clock. 44-14, Garces in the lead. They're going to start their season 1-0. First time they've done that since their 2012 section championship season. This pass complete to McGill. McGill fighting, breaking one tackle, but then a host of Rams take him down at the 15. That'll be another first down.
Christian McGill makes the catch. Gets the first down for
gain of about 12 on that play.
15-yard line.
Wingle, it's going to be in a losing cause, but coming in as off the bench, he is approaching 300 yards passing here.
Pick up a 20 on the play.
A lot of it's been against sort of a softer prevent-style defense in this second half, but shoot, he had quite a few yards at halftime as well when it was very much still a ball game. Garces only leading 14-6 at halftime in this game. But they got an interception on the second play of the second half and a touchdown on the third play of the half. And really, the route was on from there. Got it up to 34-6 before BCHS would score again. Little inside slant. And Jimenez made that catch for BCHS. And he gets down to maybe the 8-yard line. Second down and 3 there.
Matt Renzi and a host of Garces tacklers.
Clock at 2:08. Everybody in the stadium is watching the clock right now. A lot of fans filtering out. The rest want to be here till the end. BCHS hoping for one last score. Garces fans hoping to hold them off one more time. But it's all academic at this point. Garces leading 44-14. They will win their opener. And that is Wingle inside the 5 for a first down. Again to McGill.
He's run out of bounds down at the 5-yard line.
And they mark that one at the 5.
On the tackle.
It's going to be a measurement. Why not? Are we going to measure? No, I think they're going to give him the first down. That's what I would do. Just go ahead and give them the first down and let's play some ball. And that's what they will do. First and goal at the 5, 1:07 to play. A play action pass. Wingle throws incomplete. It hit the turf at the goal line. 1:01 on the clock. That breaks a string of 5 straight completions for Wingle. He is 20 of 34 for 298 yards. Connor Bruce, by the way, the star of this one. Connor Bruce
remaining in the ball game.
With 111 yards rushing.
For BCHS.
to go with 169 yards passing and 4 total TDs for Connor tonight. Second and goal here for BCHS, trailing it by 30 late in the game. Wingle to the end zone, touchdown. And that is Jimenez, Danny Jimenez making that catch in the corner. And Wingle has a touchdown pass here, his second of the night, and he's also over 300 yards passing to cut into the lead with 57 seconds left.
Number 8 for the Eagles, David
De Los Santos in for the extra point. BCHS trying to get its special. They've had problems substituting on special teams all night long. Trying to get, now there's confusion, somebody running off and then running back on. Another thing they got to practice. I mean, that's one of the things about early season. Figure out where the problems are. And now we're set for the extra point. De Los Santos. Left-footed kicker. It is good. And that will make the score Garces 44, Bakersfield Christian 21 with 57 seconds left in this one. We'll take one last break and be right back with you on the BVarsity Live Game of the Week.
Do an end of quarter 30 second, and then you talk, and then I'll just close it off.
And then we got to do this, right?
Oh, yeah.
After the break?
Yeah, after that break.
Okay.
You're on.
Welcome back to Sam Tobias Field. 57 seconds left in this one. Bakersfield Christian has just scored a touchdown, but it's all Garces right now. 44-21 for the Rams. And I imagine we may see an onside kick here for BCHS. If Garces recovers it, they can run out the clock. A couple of final scores for you. North 24, Independence 14, Frontier 42, Cabrillo 6, Highland 41, Arvin 18. And it will be, well, let's see now. The players were on the wrong side of the field with 57 seconds left. BCHS was lining up to kick off left to right, and Garces was ready to return. They need to kick off right to left and have Garces return left to right. So credit to the referees, 57 seconds left. They're still on top of it. Have the team switch sides, and here we go with what in all likelihood is the last kickoff of many on this opening night of the 2016 football season. Tell you what, very impressive for Garces. You got to consider them a Division II contender at least. The Southwest Yosemite League going to be tough as ever. We'll see what they can do in the league. Isaiah Martin gets the kickoff return at the 16. Nice return all the way out to the 40. Frankly, I'll question why he's even out there in a 23-point game returning kickoffs. That's a good play to get injured on. Luckily, he's okay. You don't want to see him hurt in a 23-point game. 48 seconds to play.
21, Jordan Smith on the tackle for BCHS.
And perhaps mercifully, as we turn the clock on 3 hours in this game, Garces can kneel on it to end it as long as BCHS does not call its timeouts. The Eagles do have 2 remaining. A lot of times you'll see coaches say, you know what, we are mathematically unable to win this game, but we are going to continue to fight no matter what. The Eagles have called 1 timeout now, so that's their 2nd timeout. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe just to say, guys, keep it clean here. I know we're frustrated, but good sportsmanship, and certainly don't want to have a player ejected or anything of that nature. I haven't sensed a lot of that tonight. Some emotion, sure, but nothing too negative. When we resume, Garces will have the ball from its own 42-yard line. They lead BCHS 44-21. Here we go, back for action. And Garces is in victory formation. They are ready to kneel down on it with 48 seconds to go. Technically, it should take 2 kneel downs. The clock operator, if he's nifty, can turn it into 1. And there is the kneel down from Connor Bruce. BCHS will not call a timeout. And the clock should run out. Connor Bruce, certainly the player of the game for me in this one. 111 yards and a touchdown on the ground on just 8 carries. He only threw 9 passes. He completed 6 of them for 169 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. Isaiah Martin added 151 yards on the ground with a touchdown. And Garces will take one more knee at the 13-second mark, and that is the ball game. Your final score here on the BVarsity Live. Game of the week in the inaugural Mission Bowl. It's Garces 44, Bakersfield Christian 21. One final break for us here on Bakersfield.com and ESPN Bakersfield 1230, and back to wrap it up after this. I got to get the print in, so I got to wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll do it fast. Stand by.
Well, Zach Ewing back with you at Sam Tobias Field. A pleasure for us to be with you, and certainly a pleasure for Garces tonight. They are winners 44-21 over Bakersfield Christian. Connor Bruce, exquisite as the starter, 111 yards rushing with a touchdown, 169 through the air, and 3 scores. That counteracted Braden Wingle, 303 yards passing and a couple of TDs for BCHS, and Jeremiah Foster, who went over 100 yards receiving, in fact 135 yards receiving for the Eagles with a touchdown. Folks, tonight's BVarsity Game of the Week was proudly brought to you by the following sponsors: Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, Bakersfield Christian High School, Mission Bank, Bakersfield Rack and Shelving Company, Sangera Auto Group, Hocking Denton Palmquist CPA Firm, and Motor City Buick and GMC. We thank you so much for watching on Bakersfield.com and for listening on ESPN Bakersfield 1230 AM. Until next week, we'll be live from Stockdale Independence. For my producer, John Farrand, I'm Zach Ewing, signing off. See you at 11:15 for the Scoreboard Show on Bakersfield.com.